Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go! Woodward Sports, let's go!
There we go. Sorry, trying to get this damn computer. The computer's
Network,
broken this morning.
Let's go!
Welcome.
Let go!
There we go. Let's go.
Let go!
He's blaming it on the goddamn computer. His fingers are just too goddamn
Yeah,
big.
my big fat fingers couldn't get in on that. So
Listen, it could have been way worse. If it's stuck on my boy that does, what was my let go? I'm okay with that.
now I want the music to start. Let's do this. There it is. There it is. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show, live on the Woodward Sports Network. National championship was crowned last night, but first, welcome. My name is Stick. To my right this morning,
What's up, guys?
making his guest appearance back on the morning show,
Yeah,
Adam.
good to be back.
Bedoon.
Oh, yeah.
Bedoon.
And to my left this morning,
Joey.
Bedoon.
Bedoon.
Mamu.
Bedoon. My Mamu.
Yeah,
They
if
spelled my
anybody,
damn
if
name
anybody
wrong.
didn't see, Joey made it into the free press for opening day right out in front of Comerica Park. He was with the Tiger. He was with this awesome 8 Mile vodka bottle. And they tried to take his name, Joey Nemu, but they wrote it down, Mamu.
So there is some backstory to this, actually, as to why I had to say my name so fast and then run. Because
Oh, yeah.
I was walking with this bottle of 8 Mile, and I had it in a T-shirt because it was opened a little bit. So I don't know the legality behind this, and I look at Stick, and I'm like, so like, what's open intox mean and all that stuff? And he was like, if the bottle's open and you're walking in public. And I was like, okay, so I can't do that, but I really needed to get a picture of 8 Mile with the Tiger outside in the front. So I go out there, and all of a sudden we're taking pictures with the Tiger, and police roll up. And then they say, who was that holding a bottle?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, hell. And I'm talking to the news reporter. I say, Joey Nemu, N-A-M-O-U, I got to go. Bye.
Joey just runs away with
Just
the intern.
Booked it.
Yeah.
I
Oh, my
was like,
God.
so scared. Like, come on.
Those
Me-
cops didn't care about your bottle, though, man.
They said who had the bottle. Maybe they wanted a sip. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
That makes more sense to me.
Well, so that was Joey's fun story. But if you want to go check out those pictures, Joey made the free press. Congratulations, Joey Mamu.
And then our Mikey TikTok, whose last name is Michael Alexandrov. They spell that perfectly, but they can't spell my name.
Yeah, they definitely screwed up his name. We got to shout out Alex, who's here, making sure we look good, doing the producer role today, and Fish, making sure we sound good over there in the audio fishbowl. And shout out to everybody that's commenting right now. Rob, Kendra, Jenna, Whitney, everybody checking in, not only on Facebook, but on YouTube, on Twitch we're live on, and of course, Twitter. So make sure you're checking in, dropping your comments throughout the show so you can participate. I mean, let's get right on into it. Last night, national championship was crowned, and it went to Baylor. Did anybody up here have Baylor winning it?
I didn't.
Not in the bracket, but I put money on that game.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah. Joey, tell your story about last night, too. Because
So
Joey went
actually-
to go watch the national championship game last night at a bar, but you kind of forgot that bars close at 11 right now,
So
right?
actually, I put money on Baylor. Could somebody tell me who won? Because I don't know. Because freaking B-Dubs on Orchard Lake turned the TVs off right at 11 o'clock. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm with my girl. I'm with my friend Martha, who's in town. And I'm like, why are they closing down the TVs? And then they look, and it's 11 o'clock on the phone. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Since when does B-Dubs in the middle of a game close the TVs down? And then I started realizing, I was like, yeah, that's the freaking new mandate that they got to enforce. But you can't do that in the middle of a national championship game. Like,
Yeah.
you can't tell me COVID starts right at 11 o'clock and you got to leave. Because COVID doesn't start until after the national championship game. We all know that.
Well, let's hope so, because did you see the celebration that happened in Texas?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. After Baylor won, look at this. This is live in Texas, and obviously they have no restrictions in Texas. They haven't for a couple weeks. But, man, Baylor went absolutely insane, storming the field, having a good time after the championship. And isn't that cool? Wouldn't that be so awesome to watch a national championship football game like on a football
Good for
field
them.
on the big screen like
Right.
that?
I mean, that feeling's probably indescribable because this team has never won it. So not only are your back's against the wall like crazy because you are by far the underdog of this game, but you're playing a team that's 31-0. So people aren't probably siding with you, and then they end up pulling that upset.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 4.5-point dog going into the game, but they ended up getting the upset. Here's a little footage of them just wrapping up the game, and clock's winding down. 7, 6, 5, like coaches hugging, and this is the good part that you love to see in sports. Like both teams shaking hands, both teams played hard, as Rasheed Wallace would say.
Where's Timmy crying with that ugly ass mustache? Does he shave it off now?
Oh, he's got to, man. But the mullet, my man,
He's got to
Meyer
rock
with the
that.
mullet.
If he goes to the league, he has to rock it. But actually, both schools, whoever would have won would have been their first national championship.
Yep.
So it was going to be a historic night either way.
And shocking to me, only the second national championship for Texas, the state.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas is such a big state.
It's a football state, though. It's
I
not.
get
Even
it.
back then with Texas balling out with like DJ Augustine and that squad that they used to have, like there was a whole bunch of good teams that they used to have.
They had Kevin Durant at one point
yeah.
for 1 year, but
Yeah. They didn't win the championship, though. So overall, what'd you guys think of the game last night? I mean, I thought it was a boring-ass game.
It was a boring-ass game, but my take to it is I love this game because defense wins championships. And you see Baylor boxing out, getting these rebounds, and it's something that UCLA couldn't do the game before that, which was the reason why Gonzaga was able to whoop their ass. But then you go to this national championship game, Gonzaga couldn't get the boards. Baylor's getting every single board. I think they had like 16 more rebounds than the other team. And that right there just shows defense wins championships.
I actually agree 100% with Joey.
Hey, look at that.
Well, Baylor out-rebounded Gonzaga 38-22 on the boards, and it was actually 16-5 on the offensive rebound. So you have 11 more possessions just off of hustle and boxing out. Gonzaga looked nothing like they've looked all season. It was actually the lowest amount of points they've scored all season. 70 is their fewest. 31-0 and now 31-1. Obviously, they played the way they had to lose. I think we talked about this with Michigan when they lost to UCLA. Michigan had to play that way to lose. Gonzaga did everything right in order to lose that game, and Baylor did everything right to win it. They came out, punched them in the face, boxed them out. They attacked the paint, which everybody did not think Baylor would do. The centers played so well for Baylor. They outperformed Gonzaga on every aspect. They shot 45% from the three-point line. Gonzaga shot only 28%. It wasn't even a close game. I'm glad they blew them out.
Yeah, Suggs getting in foul trouble early for Gonzaga, I thought really hurt them. I mean, obviously, after you're coming off that high. But what do you guys think about the legacy now of Gonzaga? Or is it just the way we're going to look at the Patriots back in the day when they went undefeated and lost in the championship? I mean, now it's just a nice story, but they didn't do it. So, I mean, we can look at the program. We can discuss this, we discussed before the tournament started that, hey, they haven't really played anybody this year. They've never really been tested. As soon as they get tested, it's going to not be good for them. We saw it against UCLA, and then we really saw it against a Baylor team. Does that drop your perception of what Gonzaga is or was this year?
I'm going to say a little bit yes. I mean, you can't take away and discredit the fact that they had an amazing season. We all know that. But the fact that when this team starts to play actual good teams like a UCLA and they give up 90 points to them in overtime, then they play another great team in Baylor and they give up 86 points against them. Back to my point, defense wins championships, and they just dropped the ball on that big time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it diminishes their achievement. They reached the Final Four. That's an achievement in and of itself. They reached the national championship game, but nobody remembers the losers.
Right.
Whether they're undefeated,
Year.
whether you're undefeated going into the championship game, or you were a 10 seed or a 5 seed or a 2 seed, I don't give a shit. Like, if you lose, nobody's gonna remember. We're gonna forget about Gonzaga in about a few weeks, and it's over. That's it. Like, you just don't remember the loser.
I know, and that's the sad part. You play the whole season to lose the last game, and to not only lose the last game, to get blown out like that.
They look tired. They look super tired coming out of the game.
But how can you be tired? You got one game left.
It was
man.
a 2-day
one game left.
UCLA
it was a 2-day
beat them up.
turnaround. I know, but it was a 2-day turnaround for both teams.
Yeah.
To be fair, but Baylor had blown out Houston. They weren't playing full court press for the whole game. UCLA and Gonzaga was
Don't
a
give me
close
that
game.
shit.
Well, I'm not. It's
Don't
not
give
an
me-
excuse. I'm telling you what happened.
I know what
yeah.
happened, but that doesn't matter. Like, if you had a rough game going into the national championship game or you didn't, you need to. It's the national championship game. If you can't get up for
I
that
agree,
one
100%.
game, then you
I'm
deserve
telling you, they look tired.
deserve all the smoke that they got. What you got, Fish?
That's worse than Maz's excuse when Michigan lost. Oh, it's because they played at 9:50.
The time
not
zone
an
issue?
excuse.
Yeah, the time
Like,
zone,
all
it
been in the
matters.
same bubble for 3
All
weeks.
right, time zone I don't agree with, but on this one, like, first off, I'm obviously on your side because who cares? That's the biggest bullshit in the world. But you look at this Gonzaga team who has blown out everybody, and then they get that one matchup against UCLA where they take them into overtime. That definitely brings a little wear and tear towards that team.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they look tired coming out. They started super sloppy, slow. Suggs got a really bad foul in the paint. He just reached, hacked at the guy for no reason. Either it was going to be a contested layup or he was going to make it. He took a foul. He was off for the next 7 minutes. Just Gonzaga came out of the game
No, I
so
agree
poorly.
with you. They look tired. I just don't think there's any excuses
there's
to
no
why
excuse
you
for
don't
winning
get up
or
for the
losing.
damn national championship game. Like, to me, then that falls on the coach. If he couldn't get his team motivated and get them off their ass to realize that they were competing for, like, eternity. I mean, they would have gone down as one of the best teams, arguably, of all time because they were undefeated. I'm not even talking about who they played, just because they were undefeated. Because in 40 years, you look back and you see an undefeated team win the national championship, you're like,
It
damn,
ain't
that,
gonna happen.
that team was
Right.
good.
Well, if you want to compliment coaching, it's got to go to Baylor's coaching staff.
Yeah.
Because Baylor came out, again, they attacked the paint. They made Gonzaga super uncomfortable. They were hitting their threes. I believe they started the game 6 of 7 or 7 of 8, one of the two.
Dude, that beginning of that game,
It was amazing.
I was looking
it was
like,
over.
what's going on right now?
Yeah, it was over before it began. And actually, here's what Baylor coach had to say about being a good coach and what that means in today's age.
To me, it never defines a great coach. If you, just like there's so many players, NBA players never won an
Gangster with
NBA
that net.
championship, and great college players that never went to a Final Four. I value coaches. Do they make their players better spiritually, academically, character-wise? Are you preparing them for life? We call it champions for life at Baylor. So really blessed that we were able to get to a Final Four and win a national championship because they're hard to do.
He reminds me a lot of the Zen master when he's talking about spiritually, and we're getting them there in that way, like evolving these young men as men. They're not just, like, they're not just pieces. He's trying to make them better people, and obviously you see them. And I love this clip, too. This is what Baylor did to the entire NCAA all the way through this tournament. Because did you guys know? Look, here comes Baylor. I wish Corey was here to see this. Look at that. Bam. Houston can get it. The rest of the NBA, y'all can get it. That's one of then you got Pete
Yes.
Weber. Who do you think you are? I am. And that's Baylor. I mean, that they pretty much ran through the tournament. They're the third team to beat an undefeated team in the national championship. They're the second team in Texas to win a title. They never trailed in the game, and they're the fifth school to win both their Final Four games by over 15 points. Like, they were dominant in this series, or this tournament.
And it's like you look at the whole Jalen Suggs and you look at Timmy and the entire team.
Timmy!
Like, Jalen Suggs was still able to, drop 22 points, but it's just you see what he did. He needed help from the rest of that team, and they just were not there to give it to him. And most importantly, that defense. That defense killed them.
I think they played poorly overall. I don't think it's on Jalen Suggs, although I think he cost his team early on. He could have been the spark that they needed to
That
start
hurt
the
'em.
game. But you look at Baylor, the talk on Baylor early in the season was they had a COVID break, I believe like a week and a half. And they came back and they lost their first game of the season. I believe they were 18-0, and then they had finally lost. And the talk was, can Baylor recover? And the coach got up in the press conference and said, listen, relax. It's not a big deal. We're going to find our 3-ball. We're going to keep playing the way we do. We're going to play good defense. We're going to shoot from the perimeter. We're going to get wide open shots. We're going to play team ball. And here we are, 28-2, national champions. I mean, it's a good story for them.
Yeah, well, not only did we get our national championship on the court last night, our bracket challenge has finally wrapped up. And I don't know if this dude went in or this lady went in and changed their name last night, but you know who came in number 1 last night for us?
Who got it?
Bracket champ.
Bracket champ?
So
Good for them.
congratulations
Good for them.
to the bracket champ, coming in number 1, total score 77 points. Second is Cayman. Third is Durf.
Do we know on the
Fourth-
second, third, and fourth already? Because the total scores are all the same?
Yeah, that's including tiebreak, though.
Okay.
Tiebreaker.
Okay.
And then you got, what did I say? You got me off.
Second, K-Man. And
K-Man. Third is Durf. Fourth is Vicky. And then fifth is X Bron Cool X. And then the Toilet Bowl winner. You guys ready for the Toilet Bowl winner?
Is it Arctic?
It is not Arctic Brewing Company, unfortunately. They were in the running, but Wise Guy 11 with a total of 58 points. Congratulations, sir or ma'am. You are taking home a brand new toilet, compliments of Woodward Sports. And thank you to everybody who competed in our bracket challenge. It was a fun time watching all this. Alex, how did you wind up in our bracket challenge? Because I know for a while you were like 7th, you were 20th, so you were like in the running. How did you end up doing?
I was at 81, so not too bad.
81?
81, yeah.
81st place.
I was like 81 points, you would have won. No, okay. I get it. So you were 81st? That's not that bad.
Hey, I got 974. You got 81. You still didn't get shit either, so it's all good.
I tied for last place with 58.
No.
58 points. Yeah. Yeah, like 900 people tied for last place. Rank 477. Yeah, 58 points was the lowest score.
Wait,
and
I'm confused.
I
My
think you're
total
looking-
score is 48.
your total score is 48?
Yeah, you're looking at the wrong screen. That person didn't win the toilet. So you got to go all the way down.
Total score. I sorted it by total score lowest. And
No,
58.
58 can't be the lowest.
No.
You know what it is there's too many entries to show on that screen.
Yeah, you gotta go to the master data. We'll
So
get that
Wise
file.
Guy 11, maybe you didn't win a toilet, but we'll get down to that.
So the leaderboard you're looking at says the top 500.
There you go.
So when you sort it, that's the top 500.
Okay.
I'm like, how the hell is that score 58? That's actually pretty good.
Well, I want to know if Bracket Champ changed their name or that's been their name this whole time.
I think
'cause
changed their name. Yeah.
Either way, that's pretty awesome.
I
So
haven't seen that name.
congratulations to Bracket Champ.
Bracket
You
Champ.
won a 65-inch TV and a brand new PlayStation 5.
Is it PS5 or?
PS5.
Yeah, PS5.
PS2. We're getting
PS5.
a PS2.
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 You got two PS2s and a PS1, which equals a PS5.
Congratulations.
No, then second place, you got that Shinola watch. Third place, is that the $250 gift card?
Third
golf.
place is actually pizza.
For a year.
Pizza for a year from Papa Romano's.
Man, I would have loved that gift.
That would be the best gift right there, for real.
Yeah.
And so we got to shout out Bridge Street Exchange on that. Second place, Shinola watch. And then fourth place, getting a 50-inch TV from our friends over at Meyer. And then fifth place is that $250 Top Golf gift card thanks to Grow Green.
Yeah, so thank you guys, everybody, all the thousands of everybody who entered. I had a fun time. If everybody wants to show where they placed and tell us where they wound up, I see Rod here. He said he got less than 48. Vinny said he ended up 237th with 63 points. That's not a bad showing, Vinny. So let us know. Comment on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, of course, Twitter, and Twitch as well. Joey, why don't you give your shout out to Bridge Street Exchange real quick?
Yeah, I mean, listen, whoever gets this second place prize, you just won yourself a brand new Shinola watch. And I just want to thank Bridge Street for being a part of the Woodward Sports Network and honestly being with us since day one and believing in what we're doing here. So that's why I want you to believe in me and go check them out in downtown Fenton over there. They got so much Carhartt gear, a bunch of barware that you could add to your collection, and just so many Michigan brands. So support this locally owned business. Downtown Fenton on Leroy Street. It's Bridge Street Exchange.
Leroy,
especially go get your 15% off, by the way, because 15% off if you use the code word WSN at bridgestreetexchange.com.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, and we just talked about the national championship game yesterday, so we can put that to bed. I'm just sad it was kind of such a dull game. Like, I really wanted another UCLA Gonzaga, so we could be in here going nuts this morning. But Paul Pierce kind of stole the spotlight yesterday. ESPN fired Paul Pierce. And Joey, was he your dumbass of the day yesterday?
He was my dumbass of the day, and honestly, I might have to just give it to him again today.
Really?
I have to.
So let's recap what happened. I believe it was Saturday night about 2 a.m. Paul Pierce posts this original video up on his IG story.
IG Live. On IG.
And, you know, he's just getting some back rubs from some strippers. You see a girl twerking in the background. You know, just your typical poker night with the boys, right?
Yeah.
Monica, what you doing?
Monica, what you doing? You should be here making money. So it's all in good fun, man, right? Paul Pierce, grown man, he's allowed to do this. It's the weekend.
You see the comment? Hey, Paul, let me join. I got your rookie card.
Where Rachel Nichols at? You see that one?
Did you guys see that comment? Some dude said, "Hey, Truth, you're my idol."
Oh, is that
the funniest shit ever. Do you have kids?
Yeah, he does have kids. He's got 3 daughters. Yeah. And if you look in the background, they're like throwing poker chips on the stripper. You know, he was on pretty much all night. There was pictures of him smoking blunts and all that. So ESPN, which is owned by Disney, decided Paul Pierce should no longer work for us. And Paul Pierce got let go yesterday. Do you guys think that's fair that that man lost his job for doing something that wasn't illegal, that really any grown man can do? Was off campus after hours. The biggest fault he had was posting it.
That's the issue. Is my take on this one's kind of tough because it's like he's allowed to do those things in his own life. But when you say ESPN owned by Disney, that's kind of where they're probably a little bit softer as opposed to some of these other companies. And ESPN wouldn't even come out and talk on this one.
Right.
So they just got rid of him, moved on, and that was it. So obviously the biggest takeaway to this one is don't post on social media if you're going to be acting stupid. I just am curious to see if they're doing this as far as a violation because of COVID, or is it because he was doing all this with the strippers and everything like that? Because, listen, COVID's still going on and there's no masks. He's doing that, and then he's heading to their studio to do shows.
I mean, if anything, he's got to worry about getting pink eye. Fuck COVID. There's some buttholes all over that room.
Yeah, but I mean, buttholes still give off COVID, I'm sure.
I don't know. We'll have to check that out.
Dr. Fauci
Adam,
said
do you
that.
think getting fired is the correct move by ESPN? Because honestly, if that was any one of us, I'd be happy that you guys did that
No,
at the
you
network.
wouldn't.
I'd be like, well, no, I'd be pissed you didn't invite me.
Yeah, you'd be commenting.
But I'd be the guy off screen throwing the poker chips on the ladies.
I mean, I think it was a bit harsh, but that's just the time we live in now. It's I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. He didn't do anything wrong legally.
Yeah,
all he did was post on his social media that he was getting lit. He was tweaking.
He was tweaking.
He had strippers in the background, poker chips. Like I don't understand what the hell this guy did wrong. Seriously, he shared something he probably shouldn't have, and I think the only argument you can make is that he brought Disney and ESPN into bad light, and that if that's enough to get him fired, all right, whatever. That's their company policy. But for me, there's like you could suspend him for a week, 2 weeks.
So you guys ready for the best parts of this?
Yeah.
Our favorite site, Cam Soda, came out.
No way.
Please tell me they offered him a job.
They offered Paul Pierce $250,000 to host an NBA show with exotic dancers.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Dream job.
Yes. I'm disappointed we didn't think of that. That is amazing.
Listen, this guy was smiling and laughing after. I don't blame him. Now I know why. ESPN wasn't paying him shit anyways.
My thing with this whole is I don't think he deserved like this warranted an actual firing. I think it definitely was something where you got to reprimand the guy somehow and smack his hand, but not get rid of him entirely.
Well, I mean, if you look at it from just a company standpoint, Paul Pierce has a shitty opinion. He offers
That's what everybody was clowning on
he
him
offers
for.
like 0 good takes.
Yep.
And he's usually wrong like 99% of the time. So like that was just probably an excuse for them to get rid of him without having to like give him like a pension or compensation or any of that shit. So I think that was coming. He was a horrible analyst. But beyond that, I don't think it warranted a firing, but you know, whatever. I think a 1 week, 2 week suspension is more than enough.
Well, Paul Pierce doesn't seem to give a damn that he got fired. He put out this video thanking his haters first, and like, here we go. Let's see what.
Just want to thank all my supporters. Want to thank my haters and everything. Look, but check it out. Bigger and better things coming, baby. Don't worry about it. You fall twice, you get up 3 times. You know, just always remember to smile, baby. I'm good. I'm good. understands me.
He's covering up that pink eye.
Yeah, that's what he's got. He's got the pink eye. But honestly, I try to read people's body language and tone and all that stuff. And even though he said he's good, I don't feel he's good. Like, when you got to repeat it, you're almost trying to reassure yourself that you're good. Like, I'm good, man.
Well, you don't know his financial situation.
Oh, he's
you
fine.
Don't know,
He got money.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know if he came out of the league with $10 million sitting and he's invested and he's like set for life, or he's like working at ESPN to pay his shit and he's trying to figure out what to do on the side. So
based off the strippers he got, though, I'm thinking he's struggling. Yeah. Them was some rough-looking strippers.
Some day shift strippers he brought down there. Like, you don't want the day shift strippers, baby. They got bullet holes and C-section scars. We got another video of Paul Pierce, and this is his latest video, just kind of laughing at the situation. It's literally just a clip of him laughing.
That's the fakest laugh. I'm with you.
That's it. That's all he posted. Just
that chain looks fake, too.
Now he's ripping on the chain.
So I don't think he should have gotten fired for it. Obviously, he should have gotten reprimanded, maybe a slap on the wrist. But you never know what his relationship with ESPN was. Maybe it was already on the outs, and they're just like, all right, this guy's opinion sucks. We thought when we hired him he was going to be something else. Let's just get him out of here. He gave us a reason. Pull the rug out from underneath him.
I think that's the reason 100%. I think they were sick of him. I mean, look, if Fish posts on his IG and he's doing all that shit, he's going to come in the next morning.
And get a raise.
We're going to reprimand him and, like, you know, give him that hand clap, $100 under, like, good job, man, you know?
Right.
So,
Fish, we've talked about you going to a strip club, man.
It's time to make it happen.
Do you want to, can you reenact what Paul Pierce was doing the other night?
No.
No? If I gave you some poker chips, will you throw them at a stripper?
Nope.
Why not?
I'll be far away from that.
We're far away from that.
If Fish did that, he's walking in the next day and we're giving him some buffs because that's just a Detroit staple, so he could cover up that pink eye.
Fish just earns buffs anyways. Like, we got to get some buffs on. Like, when he talked trash to Joik and Easy edited that video and put some buffs on Fish, that was probably my favorite piece of content we've produced here. So good job, Fish.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about last night's game, and how do you feel about, do you think Paul Pierce should have been fired for that?
I mean, I assumed he was going to get fired.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they don't want people, well, the networks don't want people doing stuff that they're not supposed to do.
Right.
Well, why isn't he not supposed to be doing that?
Right.
Why is he not supposed to be doing that? I don't know. It's a network thing. I mean, if you post it, you're gonna like. Look, if anyone did that, if Stephen A. Smith did that, he would be fired. It would be a long, hard look. It'd be a long, hard look.
If Stephen A. did that, he would get maybe a 1-week suspension. Maybe. If anything, they would just fine him and they would move on because they pay him $10 million a year. Paul Pierce isn't Stephen A. Smith. He has probably just as shitty of a take and have an opinion as an analyst, but that's about it.
I forget who brought it up in our group chat last night. We got a Woodward Sports group chat with pretty much everybody in the company on it. But they still have Ray Lewis working for their network. They also hired Michael Vick to work for their network. So you're telling me Paul Pierce smoking blunts and partying with strippers is worse than Ray Lewis murdering a guy and Michael Vick just drowning dogs and electrocuting them? Like, to me, if you're going to have this moral code and this high standard, you better apply it to everybody. Otherwise, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
I think the issue with that take, although it's technically correct, is... Well,
is there any other way to be
Ray
correct?
Lewis wasn't working for ESPN, and neither was Michael Vick when those incidents occurred.
Right, but they hired him after?
But they hired him after, sure, because they paid their dues or whatever the fuck happened. Beyond the point. With Paul Pierce, he did it while he was an employee of ESPN and Disney. And I think that's really the issue.
Oh, so if you murder a dog before you work here, we'll hire you the next day. But if you murder a dog the day you work here, sorry, that's a little too much for us at Disney.
That was like 15 years ago, man.
I don't care when it was.
But that's society. Like, think about things that happened even a couple months ago. That's it. All right. The world forgets about it. On to the next thing. Well, that's just the world we live in. It's
not
trash,
about forgetting.
But
Michael Vick served time in jail. He paid his dues, and he's given back to the animal community and shelters, and he's done good work. He's I want to say he's cleaned his image up more than, let's say, a Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis didn't do shit. He just got away with it.
Man, he's dogfighting in his basement 100% still.
I mean, beyond the point. Again, they weren't employees of ESPN when it happened. So
no, but
it
I get
matter.
that. But if you're worried about the face of your organization and who represents you, I mean, background checks are there
It's
for
a double
reason,
standard.
right?
It's a double standard.
It's not a double standard.
It is because they weren't working for them.
I understand
like
that.
But
let's they still represent the company now that they work for them.
Let's say Alex had a troubled past, right?
And he came here. I can't see Alex having a troubled past.
Let's say he had a troubled
Put yourself
past
on camera.
and he made mistakes.
Yeah,
all
look
right?
at that face.
Look
Can
at
you see
Alex.
that face?
This guy
having a
is a
troubled past?
hardcore drug dealer. Look at that face. Put yourself back.
White murder Rick over here.
Murdered
Listen,
2 people back
Alex
in 2013.
comes in with a dark history, all right? We're not going to hold that against him. We're going to take him for who he is now, not who he was, and we're going to bring him on. And if he's with strippers, we're probably going to congratulate him. We're not going to give him shit.
Right.
But if you're doing that same shit that got you in trouble originally, yes, then you have a point. But again, I don't think
Alex,
it's fair to do that.
if you killed dogs a couple years ago, you're fine to work with us, but don't go hang out with strippers.
I mean, he went to
served his
jail
time.
back in, but he's going to, we got strippers. I mean, the average person may do that on the weekend. Like what?
I like where your head's at with that, Alex.
This all goes back to what Adam said. They were looking for a reason to get out of this.
Yep.
And this is the easiest way to just, bye, Paul. and that's it. I mean, obviously, killing dogs and all this stuff is not good. It's just, if you were to hold everybody accountable for everything they've done in their past and throughout their entire career, all these networks would be
If you
done.
got a hold of my Twitter
so
when
you're
I was
telling me there's nobody else they could have hired to go over college football than Michael Vick?
No, there's
I'm not
plenty
saying
of people. That's not the point, though. The point you're trying to make is if Michael Vick, right after he did what he did, was hired by ESPN to become an analyst, or he was in the league and he served his time. Like, they reprimanded him accordingly. He was out of the league. He went and served jail time.
Right.
When he came back in the league, he wasn't a starter. He had to earn his way back in. He only got a few years as a starter, and then he was traded off to the Jets, and goodbye, Michael Vick.
Right, but he still represents your brand at the end of the day, and that's the only point I'm really trying to make. Like, if it's so egregious that a grown-ass man was doing legal activities at 2 a.m. in California, but you're okay with some dude that murdered people and then other dude that murdered dogs representing you, you're not really being honest with what you're trying
You're
to
picking
be.
and choosing what your
Exactly.
moral standards. I get that 100%, but
And
I don't think it's fair.
I'm a hardline guy.
But again, they weren't employees at the time, and that's where the biggest difference is. Like,
Right.
as much as we can say,
So, Soda Cam, though. Can we
Cam
give a shout
Soda.
out? Cam, I always, whatever.
Cam Soda. Listen, the thing that it all comes down to is this company probably got so much backlash. All these Disney little teeny bopper mommies and ESPN moms or whoever sent all these letters and complaints,
Yeah.
and then ESPN was forced with nothing else to do than to just get rid of him.
Because those Disney kids aren't out there doing blow and going crazy too when
Once it hits
those
the
pictures,
news?
like Vanessa Hudgens' naked pictures, they still
Hell
kept her
yeah.
when she was. Those were like 14-year-old naked Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh, was
though.
it really?
I don't
I think it was like
I love
yeah,
Vanessa
I don't-
Hudgens.
she
Not
wasn't of
14-year-old.
age. I know that much.
Really?
Yeah.
She wasn't 18. That I remember.
Yeah, that's so yeah.
Ugh,
Disney
that's disgusting. I can't
Disney
believe
got
she did
some
that.
weird things going on. They got some weird double standards, but either way, Paul Pierce, he gone. And coming up next, we're gonna get into Joey's news. You ready to do it, Joey?
Yes, I am.
We'll do that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Good morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's news.
Let's go.
Let's go, Baylor, with the upset over undefeated Gonzaga. Now they're defeated, finishing the season 31-1. That's honestly, I'd rather be 0-16 than 31-1. I truthfully would.
Right.
Like, that's just a horrible way to end this undefeated perfect season. But it all came down to Baylor out-rebounding them, and you see just Baylor. Just look how cool that is right there.
That is
Obviously
awesome.
not cool during COVID.
I
Gotta
think it's
preface
cool.
it with that.
It's different in Texas right now, though.
They're
it's
open.
crazy.
Texas
Like,
Rangers had a full stadium.
So that's
for
legal
opening
then,
day.
right?
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
Dude, if honestly, what's going on right now, not to go down the COVID lane too, Bass, but all these states that have been open and like doing normal activities are trending out well ahead of where we are. Like, Michigan is ridiculous right now. The cities in Michigan that are leading the nation in percentage per 100,000 that have COVID, like, we're 8 of the top 10. New York is up there, and then I believe some other city in New Jersey. Outside of that, it's all Michigan. Like, Jackson is the worst, because who was just tweeting about it this morning?
Jackson, Michigan's the worst?
Yeah, Jackson, Michigan is the worst right now. Detroit's really bad. Midland, like, all types of these cities are really bad right now in Michigan. And you can debate and describe why it happened, how it's happening, but it's happening right now. Michigan is worse off than pretty much the states that are open, and it's weird.
And we're the most locked down state.
But I think, in my opinion, that's kind of the reason why we weren't able to, like, gain a herd immunity or, like, get out there and, you know, like, even throughout this whole year, I'm sure everybody's immune system is a little different than it was a year ago, with out there shaking hands, kissing babies, like, talking to people. You didn't have those exchanges, so now we're so fragile here in Michigan that everybody's getting sick.
I think everyone's just got to pick their butthole, put it in their eye, get the pink eye.
There we go.
And open the streets again.
Honestly, licking butthole is probably the best option for
He
you
said
right
picking,
now.
but you can take
whatever.
it. That's fine, Joey.
You said licking.
You hear what you want, baby.
Listen, man, do what you got to do, right? But I'm only pissed because Governor Whitmer kicked me out of B-dubs yesterday, right when 11 o'clock hit. 7 minutes left in this game because of the freaking 11 o'clock curfew.
Yep.
I was so pissed. I couldn't even watch the end of this game.
Did you finish your food?
I finished my food, but it was just like I couldn't even finish this game.
That's so funny.
Jets, they trade Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers for a 2021 6th-round pick and 2nd and 4th-round pick in 2022. He's going to be now coached by Matt Rule and Joe Brady. And he's got Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and his old friend Robbie Anderson, who he played with in his rookie season on the Jets. He also threw 88 completions to him, over 1,000 yards,
yeah, Robbie
and
Anderson
11
had a hell of a year.
touchdowns. So that connection right there is bad. At first I saw this and I was like, I don't really know why, but it's actually not that bad of a trade.
Yeah, fantasy football, man. This is, we're getting into that time. I started talking about it a little bit yesterday. I've been diving deep into fantasy football, and that may be one of your sleepers right there with Robbie Anderson, getting his favorite quarterback back. And, Sam Darnold, we're going to talk a little bit more about him and how I project him moving forward, because I got some good comparisons about why Sam Darnold's going to do really well.
So we'll get into that in a little bit. Did you guys watch the Angels game yesterday?
I did not.
Did you see the Fans were throwing inflatable trash cans on the field in the middle of the game.
Love it.
Against the Astros.
That's right.
So there's one inflatable.
I love this country.
Then they
awesome.
started throwing actual real. He said, I love this country. But that's so good, especially after the whole little cheating scandal.
Scandal. That's a big cheating scandal. And the thing is, everybody thought that the Astros got away with it with the last COVID last year, that, it's been now another year removed. People are going to forget about this. Baseball doesn't forget.
Right.
They're still going to be taking hit by pitch after hit by pitch after hit by pitch. And I love it. I love to see they deserve all the smoke. Mm-hmm. All of it. All of it.
See, like some people might forget about dog beating.
Right.
But with that one, they will never forget about it.
Nope.
Doesn't make sense to me, but that's where we're at in this world. The Pistons, this freaking surprised the heck out of me. So the other day, the Pistons play the Knicks, lose by 44 points. Then they play OKC yesterday, beat them by 24 points.
Good Lord.
That's just crazy to me right there.
Dude, Killian Hayes looked really good yesterday, too. Did you guys watch the game at all?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Because I was watching it before the NCAA tournament. And
I saw that 3-ball.
Yeah.
His movement was really good.
He looked confident for the first time. Like, he only played, 5 to 7 games before he got injured. And all of them, you're just like,
when is he going to be able to shoot the ball?
What is he doing?
Can he score a basket?
Right.
Was that all he played before?
Yeah, only 7 games.
He got hurt super early.
Wow.
Yeah, super early. But last night, he was controlling the floor. He was asserting himself on defense. He had really quick hands. And you could just tell he's a very smooth and fluid player when he gets involved in the game. Like last night, not going to say I'm completely sold on him, but last night watching him play, I could see it for the first time. And I haven't been able to say that at all this season.
So you're happy with him over Halliburton?
No, I don't think that's. It's You're just gonna hurt stick. Is this the hurt stick show?
I mean, just to feel good, you know.
No, I do love Halliburton, but also I saw flashes of Killian that Halliburton can't do, like passing wise, fluidity wise,
spreading the court. Like he was
Halliburton's
really good
more
at
NBA ready.
Yep.
Halliburton is way more NBA ready, but I think we have to pump the brakes on rookies because remember Tyreek Evans. One of the greatest rookie years, I believe. 21 points, like 4 rebounds, 6 assists.
Couple 50-point games too.
Unreal rookie season, and nothing since. So we're looking for potential out of Killian. So as long as he shows flashes, he develops his game. If he can get a respectable jump shot, I think that's a good thing for the Pistons.
Yeah, last night was the first time, like I said, that I saw him comfortable. You know, he knocked down a 3, he had some great assists, and he just didn't look panicked. He looked under control the entire game. So if that's the type of Killian we're going to get moving forward and it only improves, listen, I'll drop the whole Halliburton thing by the end of the season.
That's a bold statement right there.
It's true. It's true. Because I like Halliburton, but Killian's a Piston, so that's my guy.
That's right.
Yeah. No, we got to stand up for our home squad, and also we got to stand up for our local brands like 8 Mile Vodka.
Yes, sir.
Look at this beautiful bottle right here. This is a bottle when you go to Meijer your next time you're going grocery shopping and you see this on the shelf, you buy this bottle and support this amazing company because they're supporting us here at Woodward Sports, and we love them. It's seriously, like, I'm not much of a drinker. You know that.
I am.
When we drink 8 Mile Vodka, and we did on opening day, it is such a smooth vodka where it's one that you don't even need a chaser, and that has never been something that I could do in my entire life. I always need a little bit of lemonade or something afterwards, but this just goes down so smoothly. So support this born in Detroit company, 8 Mile Vodka, located in Meijer and a whole bunch of different locally owned liquor stores, so go buy them.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
It's the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Good morning to you. Thank you guys for checking us out and hanging out all day long today. Make sure you drop your name and where you're from in the comments so we can at least see where everybody's listening from this morning. And so if you follow us on social media, you'll see questions get posed from time to time. And over the weekend, we posed a question. What GM, former Detroit sports GM, would you want to bring back to make the next 3 draft picks? And our options are, you got Joe Dumars, you got Dave Dombrowski, Ken Holland, and Matt Millen. So those are our 4 options for you to pick from. And if anybody picks Matt Millen, you're no longer allowed to be a part of this show.
And if you say Matt Millen in the Facebook chat, Fish will ban you.
Yeah, Fish will automatically ban you. But, Adam, let's start out with you.
All right.
Out of all 4 of those guys, who are you picking?
It's got to be the one and only Ken Holland. Dave Dombrowski showed no ability over his time with the Tigers, whether it was a successful period, but he couldn't draft at all. We had one of the worst farms in baseball, and even when we had decent farms, those players never panned out. So we were never drafting good players to begin with. Matt Millen, do I really need to say anything?
No.
Joe Dumars, honestly, Joe Dumars, do I really need to say anything? That is like a 15-year stretch of nothing in the first round. I don't care if you were picking top 10 or in the 20s or 30s. I don't give a shit. It was bad for 15 years. Ken Holland's the man. Thomas Holmstrom in the 10th round. Datsuk in the 6th round. Zetterberg in the 7th round. God damn it. I mean, Rafalski signing in free agency.
Rafalski.
God,
dude,
I forgot
2007 signs with us. We win the chip in 2008.
Yep.
Marion Hossa, we went back-to-back. We lost, obviously, in Game 7, but back-to-back finals appearances. Like, Ken Holland was above the rest. I think people lose sight because he was so dominant in the free agency market, and we were scouting overseas at the time where nobody was really doing it. He had kind of leverage, but if I'm taking any of those guys, it's got to be Ken Holland. He's the only proven GM. The rest are just shit.
I mean, especially when you look at Joe Dumars drafting. Like, that's something that was never too impressive.
Dude.
But, I mean,
how you got to call everybody else shit, though?
I mean, come on.
Dumars won a championship, man.
Dumars won a championship, but we're talking about drafting.
Dombrowski got us to
We're talking about drafting. Dombrowski built us through free agency and trades.
And draft.
Not through the draft.
That was Dombrowski's strategy, was to build the farm team and then mortgage it. Like that's kind of what he did.
But
and if you want to hold on before you do that, if you want to get involved in this conversation, you got an opinion of what 4 of those guys that you want back to make your next 3 draft picks, give us a call right now, 313-552-6322. That's 313-552-6322. And yeah, Ken Holland definitely does have the best resume.
Well, it's not even resume. We're talking specifically, who do I want to do the next 3 draft picks over the next 3 years? And I'm taking Ken Holland. It's a proven track record in the draft. Dave Dombrowski did a phenomenal job with the Tigers. Not the best track record when it comes to the draft. Matt Millen couldn't draft. If he had the first overall pick in this year, Matt Millen would probably get Mika Parsons. That's how fucking stupid he is. Joe Dumars, I don't even want to go there. Joe Dumars was not a good GM in the draft. Did he make some moves? Did he help deliver a championship? So many Eastern Conference Finals runs? Yes, 100%. But we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about their ability to draft. And the only person to me in my lifetime out of these 4 that were able to prove they could draft people and get talent later in the draft has to be Ken Holland.
Well, let's kind of run through their resumes real quick, too. I mean, we just went over Ken Holland, 883 wins, 523 losses, 4-time President Cup trophy, 3-time Stanley Cup champion as GM, 4-time with the Red Wings. I think he was an assistant coach right before he became GM and got that. So if anybody's like, no, he's got 4. He does have 4, but only 3 as a GM. And then we could look at Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars had a pretty decent record, winning record with the Pistons, 595 to 536, 73 playoff wins, 6 Eastern Conference Finals, and then 1 championship. Could have been 2 had she not left Robert Horry wide open. That could have been 2. Then we can move on. Who else we got on this list? Who else are we throwing up there? Dave Dombrowski. And I was actually shocked Dombrowski had a losing record here as a GM.
Yeah, we were so shit for like 8 years, and it wasn't until the Miggy trade that things really started to turn around. And then you saw, well, not really. We had the Ordonez, the Guillens. 2006 was magical, but like that was just one magical year.
Right.
Then we went back to shit, and then we traded for Miggy, and we went like right back on the up.
And then by the time he left, we were garbage again, essentially.
Yeah,
I was shocked though when I saw that, when I was looking up those numbers. But 4 ALCSs, 2 World Series appearances, obviously no World Series wins. And then we get to the belle of the ball, everybody's favorite, Matt Millen. Oh, yeah.
God,
31 and 81 as Lions GM. Led team to an 0-16 record, but he did draft Calvin Johnson.
See, that's the thing, is that you talk about draft picks. He did get Calvin Johnson out of Georgia Tech.
Do you know what had to happen for them to get Calvin Johnson?
What?
The Raiders had to be so fucking stupid to take a donut frenzy-eating quarterback who was overweight as fuck.
But Jamarcus Russell could throw the ball 70 yards on his knees.
Hey, he was thick. He was
a thick boy.
Dude.
I mean, we were so fortunate to get Calvin in that draft. I was so surprised, but who cares? Congratulations, Matt. You did one thing right. And guess what? We still didn't win a playoff game with Calvin Johnson. So,
but we're talking about who you would pick to get your next draft picks.
Right.
Yeah,
he
Matt Millen
discovered a Calvin Johnson.
He didn't discover. Calvin Johnson pops out of that goddamn screen. Dude's 6 goddamn 50 and 100, man. The dude's huge.
The dude is a monster. So
Megatron, man.
So you're going Ken Holland.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's got to be Ken Holland. Ken Holland struggled in the early rounds with our draft picks. I will say, if we're going to be fair to everybody, he wasn't all that great in the early rounds, but we were usually picking 31st, 32nd because we were always making deep runs in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I'm looking at value. I see value all around in Ken Holland. If I have to pick one out of the 4 GMs for one out of the 4 teams, it's got to be Ken Holland. He can find me value later in the draft, and I'm not confident in Matt Millen to take anybody with the number 7 overall pick this year. I don't trust Joe Dumars with my life, and I definitely don't trust Dave Dombrowski, although you look at his history, it was very successful with us, but his draft strategy was actually very poor. We never really got any good farm talent out of it, and even his strategy of mortgaging it, none of those guys ever panned out. He was able to leverage it well in the in the trade process, but those actual picks, the players he drafted, never turned out to anything.
But when you look at his absence, once he leaves, and then obviously the Tigers start to play like
trash.
trash.
He left us like shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's obviously why you can't take him. And then you mentioned the Ken Holland. I mean, the dude was how many Stanley Cups with us? Three as GM?
Three as GM,
yep. I mean, he knew what he was doing as far as drafting the right players. Like you said, not earlier on at least, but, I mean, he knew what he was doing, especially out of all 4 of those. It's like, you're not really giving us much to work with.
Man, Zetterberg in the 7th round, Datsuk in the 6th, Konstantinov in the 11th, Thomas Holmstrom in the 10th round. Like, we're talking about drafting. It's got to be Ken Holland. And I think something that people forget about Dave Dombrowski is he had the opportunity to rebuild the Tigers once we kind of made our runs, and it was just all going away. Jim Leland left. Brad Ausmus came in, and he couldn't. We drafted like shit.
Well, he brought Ausmus in. That was a major mistake. Yeah. Major mistake. Well, I mean, you want to talk about drafting. Let's get into Joe Dumar's last 11 picks before he left. Greg Monroe, Terrico White, Brandon Knight, Kyle Singler, Vernon Macklin, Andre Drummond, Chris Middleton, not so bad, Kim English, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, NBA champion Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Yeah.
For the Lakers, not
he had
the
to
Pistons.
play with LeBron, that's why.
Tony Mitchell, Peyton Siva, remember him? Oh, my God. Yeah, those are not great draft picks. And then, of course, the creme de la creme, Darko Milicic.
Out of all those, the Chris Middleton was a good draft pick. He just didn't flourish because of coaching issues at the time, and he wasn't able to develop. So good for him that he moved on and became the player that he should have been. But I think that that speaks for itself. Joe Dumars was horrendous in the 1st round. Horrendous. And you only get, in the NBA draft, it's different. It's really the 1st round only. Like, you have the Draymond Greens that come up every few years in the 2nd round, but that shit is rare.
Right.
Like, it's the first 15 picks or miss.
But that's why you look at the Chris Middleton pick, and that's like, all right, you get him in the 2nd round. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that one I will give him, but he didn't flourish when he was with Detroit, so I can't give him all the credit.
That's usually how it is.
So 313-552-6322 is the phone number if you want to get in on this conversation. I want to know what you guys are thinking of those 4 GMs. Which one did you love? Which one did you hate? Which one would you be okay with making the next 3 draft picks for our Detroit teams? Once again, 313-552-6322 is the phone number. When we come back, Adam's got his bets, but we're going to keep that conversation rolling after that too. So call up. Get involved. We want to hear from you right now. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for checking us out this morning.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Drake Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand.
Joik Bell's soft. Just wait till it comes to New Zealand. And Joik is back today. He'll be on Baligian and Bell, and Corey is sitting in for Sean Baligian. So if you're wondering where Corey is this morning, Corey's been working so hard the last couple weeks, pulling double duties on multiple shows, so we just wanted to take a little bit off his plate and make sure that he gives you 1,000,000% from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Baligian and Bell. He's going to be on with Joik today, and that's going to be a fun show. So, yeah, if you're looking for Corey, 11 a.m. is when you can catch him here on the Woodward Sports Network. We do miss him, but we have Adam sitting in his seat, and we didn't even have to switch out seats for this.
We're back.
Morning. We're back, baby.
We're back. We're winning again, man.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it. We took some punches the last few days. Holy shit, I was losing my mind.
I know you were kind of depressed when you were up here. Like, Adam, how the bets going?
No, it's going good.
You know, bets
he said he doubled down yesterday, too.
I did 4-1 yesterday. 4-1. We whooped ass yesterday. The only people that cost us is Fish. Because Fish, goddamn, I told you stop betting on the fucking Tigers, man.
Fish, you bet on the Tigers yesterday?
I mean, I always do, but he did too. So there you go.
There you go. All right, Adam. Let's get into your bets. Or actually, what
By the way,
yesterday?
did Broadwell enjoy the game? Did he go?
I didn't talk to him. We'll ask him today.
Okay. I'm not on speaking terms with Broadwell. We're 0-1 officially when he goes to Tigers games. So we're gonna avoid him until he gets a W. But last night, 4-1, man. We got the Gonzaga Baylor under. We hit the Avalanche over at 5.5. I love that number. We got the Pistons over, and I believe the last one was the Nets game on the over. So I was really happy. The only one that cost us was Detroit Tigers. But whatever, we'll move on. Today, I got some really good games that I'm excited about. Stick, you know where I'm going with this. I got to start with
5.5, baby.
5.5, and I got 2 of them. I love this, and I'm not gonna stop. The Sabres are on an 18-game losing streak, so God help them. But I think we're going to get 6 goals this game. I think we're going to get it in both games. The Lightning and the Blue Jackets, Sabres and Devils, I love 5.5. I'm going to keep betting it. I've only lost on it twice this year, and I've bet it 18 times. 16-2 betting on the 5.5 in hockey is a fucking great bet. I love it. So I'll take those 2 games. Then we're going to move on to the over in the Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics game. I love this matchup. Joel Embiid's back, which makes me confident that the Philadelphia 76ers can play some offense. So 223, very achievable. Boston have been scoring over 108 points over the last 9 games. I really like them. And I can't believe I'm doing this because they cost me yesterday. But I'm actually taking the Tigers and Casey Mize today as my underdog of the day. I think they'll beat the Twins. Don't clap for me, Fish. They cost me a big parlay yesterday. Actually, I'm very frustrated with the Tigers. But I'm going to give them their chance to redeem themselves. Hopefully because Mike isn't there, they win. So if they win, go ahead, Fish.
Well, you can't get angry at me if you pick the Tigers.
Fish,
or
every
any
day
Detroit
I come
team.
into work and you just tell me to bet on Detroit sports teams.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to do it.
That's a fair point, man.
That is a fair point. He got you there, Adam.
I can't say shit to that, but the last game on the slate is going to be the Dodgers versus the Athletics. I'm going to take the Dodgers on the money line, minus 170. It's a fair line. Clayton Kershaw's on the mound, so the fact that it's not minus 200 or higher, I'll take it. I think it's a good bet. $100 bet if you want to parlay it, wins you $2,700. But last night, 4-1, back in the winning ways. I'm feeling good. I'm not depressed.
I'm not depressed.
We're feeling good, so I'm really confident in these picks, and I think I'm going to start putting more overs on the 5.5 with hockey. I've been ridiculously successful with this number.
Yeah, I really want to see a breakdown of how many hockey games or how many times that spread has been beat by Vegas.
Yeah. I think it's like majority of the time. I'll
is
get
it
that
like
number for
60-40? Is it like 70-30?
It's got to be higher, I think.
You think so?
Yeah, it's got to be higher because some hockey games, the over starts at 6 flat. They don't even give you the half. So
that's why you like that extra half point
on
the 5.5.
If they put it at 6, if that number's at 6, I'm not going to take it. Because then if they score 6 goals, I'm at a push. I'm not winning shit. If it's 7, that's a really high-scoring game. I'm just trying to get 6, which is typically a 4-2 game with an empty net. Like, that's just the theory behind it. A 3-3 game going into overtime or a 2-2 game going in. I mean, there's many ways to achieve this, but I really like this number. It's done me very well over the last few weeks.
I like when you're 4-1, man. You're a different guy when you come in here.
God
You're
damn it,
more confident in your bets. You're ready to go. So let's run them down one more time. If you're looking to place some bets today, obviously you can do it at mybookie.com. But here are Adam's. We strongly suggest you split these up individually. But if you want to go for the big prize, you can always put them in the parlay and do it like we did. But last night, Adam went 4-1. You would have lost your parlay, but anytime you're winning 4-1, you would have won some decent money had you just bet individual games.
Well, that's what we do. We bet high money on all the individual games, and then we put some stash money on the side on the parlay. Unfortunately, we didn't hit last night. I think there's a possibility we hit tonight. My only concern will be our Detroit Tigers. They suck, but whatever. I'm going to take both hockey games over 5.5 goals between the Sabres and Devils, and then the Lightning and Blue Jackets. I love this number. I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm going to come up here every day and tell you how much I love this number. I'll take the over on the Sixers and Celtics game. I think that'll be a very high-scoring game. The Tigers and Twins. Tigers on the upset. And then we'll take the Dodgers to win straight up against the Oakland Athletics. Clayton Kershaw's on the mound. He'll look to recover from a poor opening day start.
Love it. And those are Adam's bets of the day. And as always, you can go to mybookie.com right now to place those bets, and we will match your first deposit up to 50% if you use promo code Woodward. And it's that easy. And not only do they have in-game betting, they have prop bets, but they also have a live casino that you can play at. Like the other night, I was just sitting at home playing blackjack, walked away with just an extra $60 just sitting on the couch. Not a bad night. I'll take that. And you can, play all types of card games on there, and you can play it anywhere. That's the best part about mybookie.com. It's not restricted, so if you leave the state of Michigan and you go on vacation, but you still want to get the money in on your games, go to mybookie.com. You can still place your bets. They are worldwide, not just statewide. So make sure mybookie.com, enter promo code Woodward. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation about which GM you would want to bring back for Detroit for the next 3 draft picks. And you can get involved in the conversation by calling up right now, 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. Call up. We want to hear from you this morning right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, and we got Adam and Joey up here on the stage with us, and we're talking about what former Detroit GM would you want to bring back for the next 3 draft picks for your team. And the options are Joe Dumars, Ken Holland, and then, of course, you got your
Dave.
boy. Huh? Oh, I was going to say Matt Millen, and then, of course, your boy Dave. And like I said, you can get involved in the conversation. 313-552-6322 is the phone number. We would love to hear your opinion on this. We got plenty of people commenting in the chats. Adam, we got with you. You wanted Ken Holland. Joey, who you taking out of those 4?
That's who I said I wanted too. I want Ken Holland because you look at what he was able to find in this draft in the later rounds, and that's just something that is hard as heck to seek. And when you're able to do that, obviously a lot of that has to do with the coaching and the player development that you have. But I mean, you get the Datsuks and Zetterbergs and all these players in the later rounds. Like, that's impressive right there, and builds that Red Wings culture that we're so lucky to have.
We are, man, especially now that we're in this drought. Like last night I was talking just about where Detroit sports are right now, and we're probably the dumbest people on the planet for starting a Detroit sports network when Detroit sports are awful. Like, honestly, we have nothing right now except hope. Like, you look at around the teams, and they're not great teams, but that's why we're here, because we know that this is the ground level. We want to get in on these teams, because when they do climb that mountain, and we started with them here, we didn't just join at the top of the mountain, then you know that we're legit, they're legit, and it's just a much better celebration. That's why I've always been a diehard Detroit sports fan, because I always feel that, yeah, there's people that hop on bandwagons for the Pistons, whether back in 04 and stuff like that, but they don't know how much joy it brings me when they win, because they weren't there experiencing the sorrows of the losses. So this is one of those times where hop on board now, so when these teams start cashing in, you're going to be very, 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 very happy.
And that's the thing. Losing is good for you. Maybe not losing as much as we do here in
Right.
Detroit,
Eesh.
but you learn a lot from losing, and hopefully you overcome it at some point of your life that our Detroit teams aren't doing for us. But someday, it'll all pay off.
It's actually funny you say that, because Adam and I were watching the highlights of the national championship game, and there was, I forget who said it from Gonzaga, but he was being interviewed after the game, and he's like, you know, sometimes you forget what losing feels like. And I think that was part of the reason they didn't come out with all the fire in the world last night, because it just kind of becomes a given to you that you're not going to forget. Like, you're just going to walk out there and you're going to win. Detroit, on the other hand, we forgot what winning feels like. Like, I wouldn't even know how to act if the Tigers were projected to go to the World Series right now. Or the Lions. I mean, the Lions have never been projected to go to a Super Bowl in my lifetime. But I don't even know how I would act. So I'm glad we're learning how to lose, but I can't wait for that pure ecstasy of those wins.
See, but when you learn how to lose so well like we do here in Detroit,
right,
you don't know how to win, though. That's the thing that I'm scared about, because you're so used to it. But you compare this to the Gonzaga Bulldogs, right? And they went 31-1. So just say, like, obviously, Jalen, for example. He's a freshman. It's probably going to be a one and done, and he's going to be one of the top picks this draft. He's only experienced 1 loss. If you're a sophomore, that's your record at Gonzaga is 62-3. So it's like, you don't know what losing is when you play for teams like this and teams like Alabama and all of these crazy teams and programs.
Yeah, somebody I was hearing comparing like Alabama to Gonzaga, but not. No, well, how was it going? They were just comparing how you could have a great regular season, then get to the championship and lose, and then after you lose that game, you're just like, your whole season meant nothing, essentially. Like, you fought that hard. Gonzaga was on a 35-game winning streak. And at the end of the day, okay, that's nice. But wouldn't you rather have 3 losses in that in a national championship like Baylor did? Because everybody was concerned about Baylor when they got their losses, right before the tournament?
Early on in the season.
Yeah, Michigan too.
Same thing.
But yeah, you got to learn how to lose in order to learn how to win. If I'm going GM that I got to pick, obviously Ken Holland has the resume, but outside of him, I love Joe Dumars. I really do. Everybody hates Joe Dumars now, but
what picks? Because this, I get you say you love him.
Yep.
But you go back to this tweet. It's the tweet where we said the question of which GM would you pick,
right,
for your next draft picks.
Well, don't do that to me, Stig.
I'm not picking Dombrowski. Dombrowski didn't do tremendously well with his picks either, and I'm definitely not picking Millen. Millen didn't do a damn thing. The thing about Dumars is the Pistons have been perennially screwed by the NBA, picking 9th, 10th, 11th, 7th. We never get that one pick. Granted, we had that pick with the Otis Thorpe trade and number 2 overall, and we spent it on a Darko Milicic. That is unforgivable. I am not making any excuses for that. You can hold that against Joe Dumars all you want. But honestly, I would have liked to see what Joe Dumars could have done with better picks throughout his career. Just better positioning in the draft.
But you look at we listed off the recent draft picks that he picked.
Yes.
And besides a Chris Middleton who came in second round, 39th draft pick, that right there you look at and it's like, all right, you discovered that. But it wasn't even the success under Joe Dumars that made him a
he
successful
drafted
player.
Tayshaun at 22.
Yes.
That's a good pick.
Yes.
So,
what
23.
Else? What else?
Drummond wasn't a bad pick either. And you look at it, he got Drummond and Middleton in the same year. Say what you want, but if you go back and look at that draft, Drummond was probably the best option for us at the time. So I'm not really ready to throw Joe Dumars out like y'all.
I'm not throwing him out. It's just you asked which one would you pick.
Yeah.
And that's a no-brainer to Ken Holland.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not debating Ken Holland. His track record speaks for itself. But if I had to pick my personal, and this is my opinion, I'm going Joe Dumars.
Why Joe Dumars?
I just explained why Joe
Dumars accomplished nothing in the draft. He was absolutely shit. The picks that he did pick on never performed to any expectations. He's passed on so many superstar caliber players. I don't care that the Pistons get screwed in draft picks, whether they're picking at 6, 7, 8, or 9. They somehow find a way to take some white guy who can't even shoot. And we pass on people like Donovan fucking Mitchell.
Leave Luke Kennard out of this.
Him, Singler, god damn it. I don't understand how you drop, whatever.
So you obviously, relative to its own sport, you would pick the players that you would go one-on-one. The players that Joe Dumars picked against the players that Ken Holland picked.
No. I don't think that's what Sam's saying. What he's saying is he would take Joe Dumars with the current Pistons situation, because that's what these GMs would theoretically do. They would take over the current team. If Ken Holland, I don't want Ken Holland. Well, they're drafting for the next 3 years. Yeah, so they're drafting
as
for
of right now.
Yeah, taking over the next 3 draft picks.
I don't trust Joe Dumars to draft for the Pistons. But as much as I love Steve Yzerman, I don't mind Ken Holland drafting the next 3 seasons. I sure as hell mind Dumars drafting over Troy Weaver. That would piss me the fuck off. Hell no, that's not going to happen.
Well, Weaver has proven this year that he knows what the hell he's doing.
Brad Holmes in Detroit, unproven still, but he was an ex-scout, coordinator, director. So you have that trust, but he hasn't drafted yet. But honestly, I would choose fucking Fish over Matt Millen, so that's not even a debate.
No, that's just fun to throw Matt Millen in there so we can shit on him.
I mean, we have Al Avila right now, so maybe you could make the argument for Dave Dombrowski because of what the fuck we have now.
But here's the deal. We're judging Joe Dumars already and stuff like that. And Troy Weaver, we all agree, did a good job this year. But we also all agree that maybe we may have missed on the 7 pick.
You say that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm still a fan of Killian, and obviously Halliburton would have been great looking at how he's been performing.
That's
but
not fair. It's not fair because
not on the same team.
The kid hasn't played.
Different.
The kid hasn't played. And you just saw him play the first 5 games of the season.
Halliburton's up for Rookie of the Year.
Because LaMelo Ball's hurt, and
if it wasn't for Ball,
Anthony Edwards is playing way better than Halliburton. So it's What do you mean?
On.
Dude's putting
you
up...
can't oof that.
Because he had one 30-point game the other
What
day.
do
You
you
guys
mean?
are all going to jump on his jock now?
He's had
been
multiple
balling
40-point
out
games.
this year.
Yeah.
He's averaging almost 24 points a game. And for them, okay, whoa. Holy shit. All right.
How
listen,
you guys going to start dogging Halliburton?
I'm not dogging Halliburton, but he is the third best rookie in this draft class right now.
Dude, recent games, 19 points, 27, 22, 24, 23, 27. Like, the dude's been balling out, getting rebounds, getting triple doubles.
And
like,
we wouldn't even have seen this
But
if it
you
wasn't for
went somewhere
D'Angelo
else, it
Russell's
wouldn't be the
dumbass
same.
getting hurt.
100%. But I'm not saying
Such a
you're
bullshit
saying
argument.
that we should have picked. And this is we couldn't have even got Anthony Edwards, so it's not.
I
Like,
know, that's what I'm saying.
right, but it's
But
just
Halliburton was available, and we're talking about drafting, and you two earlier in the show admitted that, hey, Halliburton looked damn good, right?
Now.
You said that too.
No,
Well, yeah.
Halliburton looks...
I'm not backing off that. Now you guys are.
No,
I'm not backing off
Halliburton
this still.
came into the draft the more NBA ready than Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes was an overseas prospect who obviously needs 3 years minimum to develop into anything if he can be. His ceiling is much higher than Halliburton. Halliburton is close to his ceiling because he came out basically a finished product of what he could be. There's nothing Halliburton can add to his game that's going to make him a superstar. He'll be a very good role player, all-star at best, maybe 2 or 3 all-star appearances, and that would be amazing for him. Outside of that, we know nothing with Killian Hayes because his ceiling is here. He's playing here, and he's been hurt. So when you draft people, it's for what they can be. Halliburton would have been the best on-court presence right away for Detroit, but that doesn't mean he was the better pick. It's not fair to Killian Hayes. It's not fair to the whole process that Troy Weaver's brought in. So it's early. I get you're upset with the Halliburton pick.
I'm not upset about it. This is what I'm saying. We're talking about drafting, and you just said Troy Weaver, you trust him more than Joe Dumars, which I said, okay, we can potentially agree on that. But in the same breath, you guys are also saying that he may have not drafted the 7 pick right this time, which is exactly what a Joe Dumars may not have done in the past, taking a Brandon Knight or somebody
Fair.
like that.
If I give you that,
So
if
like
I give you that,
you're pushing Weaver down the road is
No.
already a success when we don't even know that his first pick may not be the best pick
Hell
we could
no.
have gotten in that position.
No. Weaver brought Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey.
Oh, I know.
Those 2 players alone were better than all the fucking 17 years Joe Dumars was here.
And the
and
entire
any one
draft.
of his ever draft picks. And it's not even, we're not even halfway into the season.
Listen,
and
guys,
they've
I
proven
love
it.
Sadiq Bey and
No,
I
no,
love
no.
Stewart, but let's not get
Singler?
out of control.
Singler?
What do you mean
Luke
for
Kennard?
the second, third, fourth round draft?
Brandon
picks?
Jennings?
Those were first round.
But I'm
Brandon
They're all
Jennings?
first round. We had
Brandon
3 first round
Jennings.
picks this year.
But
Name
I'm saying
me-
like all of
name
the
me one
draft
player.
picks that we had this year panned out.
Name me one player. I love his thing, but you're killing me. Joe Dumars, and you brought up the last 11 draft picks that Joe Dumars had, right?
Yep.
Out of those 11 draft picks, name one of any of those drafts outside of the Andre Drummond and Middleton draft, and they're not even on the Pistons anymore, where
none of
he
these guys
actually
are.
hit on them, where he hit. He didn't hit on Drummond and Middleton, to be honest, because they weren't a success in Detroit. Drummond's still not even a success. I don't know how the fuck you guys let Corey sit up here and say that we're going to eat crow if Drummond wins a chip. Motherfucker, they're defending champs.
But Drummond was the 9th overall pick, man. We're treating it like he was a top 5 pick.
He was a
and that's
lottery
what I'm
pick
saying.
in the
That
NBA.
that is where Joe Dumars had to live. He didn't get to live with the top end. He had to kind of pull from here and there. And pulling a guy like Drummond, pulling a guy like Monroe, pulling those guys in those draft spots weren't necessarily the worst case situation. And yes, obviously we could look at a Luke Kennard and we pass on a Donovan Mitchell, but if you go back and look at those drafts, I'm just saying, you guys are judging Joe Dumars super harshly. Like, I hate the criticism that this man gets. He restored the Pistons. He brought us to 6 Eastern Conference Finals. He gave us a championship, but yet he doesn't know what he's doing.
You're going away from
You're
the
going
question.
away from the argument. It's about draft picks.
That's it.
Troy Weaver in one draft has been able to draft more talent than Joe Dumars in 11 years.
That's tough.
It's not tough.
That's tough.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you're
it's
looking
tough.
at right now, you're comparing Halliburton, the way he's performing right now, but you look at us, Saban leaving in the second round. Like, there's so many picks that just were successful in this draft.
I'm not trying to dog Joe Dumars because he gave me a really great childhood, but we're talking about draft picks, and I don't trust him because he's never given me anything to go off of why I should trust him with a draft pick. He's botched every draft. When he's drafted, let's say, good players like a Middleton in the later rounds and then Drummond at 9, great, you got a good pick. They never panned out for the Detroit Pistons. Just because you pick a player and he goes off and becomes an all-star or a superstar, that doesn't mean you get credit for it. You get credit for botching it because he couldn't develop at your organization that you were in charge of with the head coaches that you put in charge.
Yeah, but some of those guys, you got to lay on Stan Van Gundy, too, because Dumars did draft him, but then Van Gundy took over and
whose
didn't
fault is
develop
that, though?
the talent.
It's Joe Dumars' fault for hiring a fat man who was carried by Jamal Tinsley and
I mean, if you really want to
Dwight
get into
Howard.
it, when Bill Davidson passed away, it became a lame duck organization with his kids running it and not pushing the ball forward. Joe Dumars was trying to make things happen. He was restricted. He had his hands tied. And then they ended up letting him go, and Tom Gores bought the team and then brought in his crew, which obviously hasn't worked out to this point. But you gotta there's more layers to just this guy didn't do his job. Like, there's reasons. When Bill Davidson passed away, it totally changed the way the Pistons operated. It changed our focus. It changed where we were going as an organization. And not to knock his children, but they weren't Bill Davidson. And there's nothing wrong with that. Bill Davidson was probably arguably one of the greatest owners in sports of all time.
Okay, I can agree with all of that.
You should. It's fact.
How does any of that affect Joe Dumars' ability to run the scouting department?
Because you're putting the development on players that he wasn't even there to develop. He drafted them, but he was no longer there to develop them. So
we're going on in the later years. We still have 10 more years of draft picks that never worked out prior to that. I'll agree with you on the ending.
6 Eastern Conference championships.
Hey, but the team was stacked at the time. And again,
and why were they stacked?
But so were the Red Wings, and we were still able to pull out shit. So again, we're going on draft. I don't want to dog Joe Dumars. That's not what I want to do while I'm up here. Guy brought really a lot of great memories for the Pistons. Having said that, if I need one guy to draft for me, it's got to be Ken Holland. He's the only one with a proven track record out of all 4 of these. 2 of them are complete shit. So I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. And the 2 that I mean are shit are actually Dave Dombrowski and Matt Millen. Dave Dombrowski did a worse job in drafting than Joe Dumars did. Dave Dombrowski was just able to leverage his draft picks and build a really good franchise through trading and free agency.
I think Easy's taking up your mantle of talking trash in the chat.
Oh, what is he saying?
He's saying Killian hasn't even played 10 games. Chill out. Weaver hit on 2 late-round picks, and the other kid hasn't even played 10. He's just repeating himself over and over.
I don't know what he's saying, though. What's the point?
I don't know.
He's just standing up.
He's on your side. That's what he wants you to know.
No, it's not about sides. I mean, look, if I'm going to give an order, it's going to be Ken. It's going to be Joe. It's going to be Dirt. Shit, sand, Dave Dombrowski, 17 more layers of whatever minerals you can think of, and then we'll go to Matt Millen.
Yeah. Well, I think we all can agree Matt Millen's not the guy to bring back. Can we at least agree on that?
I would.
Joey,
he got
please.
Calvin Johnson. I mean, shoot.
Joey.
You argue me about Joe Dumars, but then you want to talk about Matt Millen.
I mean, we're talking about draft picks. Draft Hall of Famer.
Just draft picks.
Draft picks. Mike Williams, Roy Williams, Charles Rogers, all consecutive. Joey Harrington, Jeff Backus. God damn my life. Yeah. What a horrible childhood I had. God,
Joey
fuck you,
Harrington
Matt Millen.
was amazing. Mike McMahon.
Matt Millen, if I ever saw you in the streets, I'd tell you,
Joey
fuck you.
Harrington is such a nice individual. He signed my jersey when I was like 10 years old or whatever.
Who did? Joey Harrington?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like a size like small.
You still have it?
Heck yeah, I got it.
You got it up in your man cave?
That's my boy.
That's my boy.
No, it's hidden in my closet somewhere.
Another one of your boys, Aaron Rodgers, made his TV debut last night, hosting Jeopardy. And we're going to talk about that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Morning, Art. Morning, D-Mac.
Joey literally just ran outside. It is hot as hell in the studio this morning, and Joey, he said he was getting lightheaded, and that's maybe why he was making those bullshit points in the last segment. But either way, what's up, Fish?
It's not going to go for him too well because it's like 60 outside.
Well, it's still nicer fresh air than in here. What is it in here? It's like 78 right now?
Here he is running back.
Oh, he's coming back.
Run, Joey, run.
Back. So if you didn't see it last night, Aaron Rodgers, he hosted Jeopardy, and here's his little intro for the first time. I thought this was awesome because hosting Jeopardy would be a fun time. It's one of my favorite shows. Well, let's hear Aaron Rodgers getting introduced.
And now, here is the guest host of Jeopardy, Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert. Welcome to Jeopardy. As a lifelong fan of Jeopardy, it is an incredible honor to guest host. Now, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of amazing things, but winning Celebrity Jeopardy and getting to share the stage with the legend Alex Trebek is something I will never forget. Alex was such a gentleman, so smart, so precise. I was in awe, and I will work hard to honor his legacy. Scott, Brandon, Joe Beth, let's get in the Jeopardy round with these categories.
I thought he did a good job with the intro.
What do you mean a good job with the intro? He read a teleprompter.
I know, but he looked Johnny Gilbert like normal.
Let's be real honest, because we have to be honest up here. It's our jobs. He looked like you when we first started this.
Me?
Doing this.
Oh, swaying? Well, I'd still be doing that if we didn't have these chairs, man. If you guys didn't sit my ass down, I'd still be this the whole damn show.
See, my thing about Aaron Rodgers is he does have a good personality. But I don't want this to be as scripted as it was. I mean, you could tell right there. Hi, I'm Aaron Rodgers. And just read a straight-up teleprompter as the open. Like, just let him go out there, feel it up himself, and just be himself. I don't like that whole teleprompter bullshit.
Right. Yeah. I thought he did a great job hosting. I mean, hosting Jeopardy is a dream of mine. Actually, hosting Wheel of Fortune, I would pick Wheel of Fortune before I host Jeopardy.
Oh, so now we can talk about what we want to do, huh? Dream job.
You guys are off base on what shows you should host.
Which one?
What you got? Hold on. Fish got his hand up. What you got to say, Fishy?
Yeah, I watched like 5 or 6 minutes of Aaron Rodgers. I just thought it was awful.
You thought it was awful?
Yeah, I thought he didn't use his. I don't know if he has like a voice inflation. Just like, all right, let's go to you, Scott. Oh, you won $7 million. Did you get the question right? No, you did not get the question right. You leave with, how much did you wager? Ooh, you wagered $7,315. Let's see. Okay, you have $7,605. Congratulations. Let's go to you. He just didn't
That's exactly
use his,
how he sounds.
He's supposed to be happy. Like, all right, how did you do, Scott? Did you get the question right? Not quite. All right, what did you wager? $7,315. What do you leave with tonight? You leave with $18,755,000. Congratulations, you have won tonight's Jeopardy.
Dude! Yeah, Fish!
It's better. It's better than.
I think that lack of enthusiasm
Scott,
is why Aaron Rodgers
you didn't
struggles
lose. Let's
with the
see if
winning.
Brandon. Oh, he got the question right. And he wins $22,315. Congratulations, you have won tonight's Jeopardy. First place leaves with $1,000. Second place leaves with $2,000.
So, needless to say, you were not a fan, Fish.
I was not a fan.
So you loved him.
Well, there was another guy that was on and absolutely trolled Aaron Rodgers with his final Jeopardy response. Hope you guys saw this. Can you throw that up, Alex?
Scott,
this is awesome.
Did you come up with the correct response? Who wanted to kick that field goal? That is a great question. Should be correct, but unfortunately for this game today, that's incorrect, and you're going to lose 0.
What a gangster, man. What an absolute gangster moment for that guy. First of all, to risk $0 knowing that you're just going to troll Aaron Rodgers. Like, I hope he's a Lions fan. Do we know who that guy was?
Well, he couldn't have won. I think that was a major part of it. If he was still in the running, I don't think he would have done that. I would think he would have tried to have won. Or he just didn't know the answer. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to troll this guy.
I'm going to troll him. But, yeah, anytime you can troll Aaron Rodgers as a Lions fan, tip of the cap to you, sir. Like, I thought it was funny. But, yeah, Joey, let's do that. If you could host any game show, what game show would you host?
Man, this has been something in my entire life that I've always dreamed of. Not only being on the show, but to host it? I never even thought about hosting it, but The Price is Right all day.
Really?
That show, like, I would do anything to be on that show.
What's your favorite Price is Right game?
Obviously, spinning the wheel is always the go-to. You know, you got to do that at some point in your life.
You don't mess with Plinko?
Plinko's my favorite game if you were to pick something, but my dream's always to do that.
Right.
Just to spin that thing one time.
Does it have to be a game show?
Fish is doing the wheel sound effect.
You know, they have that game actually at Dave & Buster's, but it's not like you grab it by the side. It's like the whole pumping thingy. It's like, come on, what the hell is this?
Adam, what game show would you?
It's not necessarily a game show.
You're going to pick some weird Lebanese
some game
show.
show in Lebanon.
No, it's not a game show. I would love to host NFL Red Zone.
Oh, okay.
How is that not number one for everyone? Like
that is the fucking
well, I know. I mean, if I had to do a game show, it would be Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
I mean, NFL Red Zone's where it's at, though.
Yeah,
I'm not doing a game show.
We could get Scott Hansen on. You know, Scott Hansen actually went to Oakland University.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah,
he's got
from
a
the
tough
area.
job.
Did he go? It's either that or he's from the area. It's one or the other.
He got a crazy job. That NFL Red Zone is just non-stop action. Yeah, I'm going Wheel of Fortune. I love Wheel of Fortune. That's my favorite, like, live board game, I guess, or game show. I used to love Press Your Luck back in the day. No whammies. Adam, that should be you. No whammies. Stop! And you just nailed the desk. You would be great at that.
That'd be a good show.
Fish, if you could host a game show, what game show would you host?
Man, I don't know. I'm a big fan of The Price is Right. Let's Make a Deal's a good one, too. I'm a big fan of that.
Let's Make a Deal? That would be fun.
Yeah,
Wayne Brady does that now, doesn't he?
He does. Love that guy.
You love Wayne Brady?
I do.
Oh, you know what? I lied. I would do Family Feud.
Huh.
I think Family
That's a
Feud
fun
would be
one.
a good one.
That's a fun one.
Throw it back like Richard Dawson and just kiss all the chicks that are on the show. What about you, Alex? If you could host one game show, what would you host?
I was gonna say Family Feud.
Were you?
I'm not a huge Jeopardy person. I don't know. It's too serious for me. But I like Family Feud. You could kind of make fun of people's answers.
Yeah. No, I like Family Feud.
One that someone here actually got to be a part of is Deal or No Deal.
Oh, yeah.
Our very own Pilar from The Hook, 3 to 5 every single day with Darren McCarty and Maz. She actually was one of the models that was opening up the briefcases.
That's fun. I'd be so worried to fall down those stairs, though.
She never did. I asked her that question.
Name That Tune would be another one. Like, I love that because didn't Wayne Brady host that one too? Wayne Brady hosts everything. Kenny Burke says American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, that's a good one. What's the one with all the Asians? It was like what was that one? It's like they were fat sumo wrestlers or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I think it's on the top.
You know it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I
used to. I gotta find this.
Is it American Gladiator?
No. That wasn't all Asians.
Damn it! Well,
There
please,
was
Nitro and Taser and Laser.
There was a game show growing up where this lady would just roast the shit out. It was like a panel of all smart people, apparently. And she would just, like, destroy them. She was so rude to them. But if I was to do a different game show, it would be Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That's a good one.
Use your lifeline. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Family Feud we're getting a lot of. WSN Family Feud would be funny. Fish could host The Champions. Ooh, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
That is a classic.
Purple Monkeys, Red Clovers, Blue Diamonds.
I'd rather participate than host it.
Oh, the $100,000 pyramid. That'd be a good one.
Weakest Link. That's what it's called.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Weakest Link. That lady was such an asshole.
Yeah, that's
it was amazing.
the one I was
would love
thinking
to
of
do
that one
that.
too.
Yeah, she was an asshole. Joey, I'm still.
Is it Most Extreme Elimination Challenge? I think that's what it is.
What?
You never heard of this one?
No.
Are you sure it's not a Japanese game show you're thinking of that no one knows what it is?
Yeah, it was Japanese. Dude, I'm telling you, this show was so good.
They got crazy Japanese.
Yeah,
have y'all
chat's
seen
confirming
Japanese?
Weakest Link.
Have y'all seen any Japanese game shows? They're wild.
Yeah, that's where we stole like Wipeout and all of those shows from the Asian community because over
the
there
best stuff over there.
They beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah,
they
they're
do
chucking
crazy
pies at faces.
Yup, Most Extreme Elimination Dude, this was the game right here.
Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
You
Alex,
never
can
heard
you
of this?
Google a picture of that or something while we're talking about it? Because I have no idea what the hell Joey's talking
Dude, they
about
used to
right
do
now.
crazy stuff like it's kind of like an American Ninja Warrior, but they would like go in like mud and everything like that. It was so good. I used to love this show. It was funny.
What was the point of it? To like make it through like an obstacle course?
Yeah, make it through an obstacle course.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was great. They were always like dressed up like crazy. Like, look at that. Like they were dressed up like crazy.
Dude,
Get
where
a clip
the hell
up there.
were you watching that?
Dude, I don't know. This was like the early 2000s.
Look at it. Where the hell were you watching this?
Dude, I'm telling you. Do you know? Nobody knows about this?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, this was great, man. I used to love. I don't know why. I just love this. Those are the homies right there on the screen.
The homies right there.
Heck yeah.
What are those plastic horses?
Yup. I'm telling you, they would do some crazy, and then they'd do that impact replay. That was the best. Dude, this brings back some memories right
Man,
here.
I'm going to have to look that up on YouTube or something.
I'm telling you, there's some. I'm going to show you some episodes after.
Then they always did a voiceover in English. Is that true?
Yeah.
Apparently it was on Spike TV.
Spike TV. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, Joey.
You guys missed out. Dude, this was like back in like the early 2000s.
I could see Joey hosting that too. That's the best part about this whole conversation. Just Joey out there talking to those people. What's up, Fish?
You guys remember A Minute to Win It?
A Minute to Win It?
That show?
Yeah, every radio station I ever worked for, after A Minute to Win It, they would try to steal everything and like, we're going to do this at promo events. Here, pop the balloon between your knees. You know, if you could do it in a minute, you win a cozy or whatever. What other game shows you got over there, Fish?
Hollywood Game Night.
Oh, that's fun. Like the Pictionary and all that stuff.
Ellen's Game of Games. You can call it Stick's Game of Games.
There we go. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ellen, though.
Jenna spitting facts in the comments. It
saying?
originally aired from 86 to 90, and it aired on Spike TV from 2003 to 2007.
Bam, so I watched the reruns.
Good for you, Joey.
Good for you, Joey.
So, yeah, those are the game shows that we would want to host. And, you know, Aaron Rodgers obviously got to live out his dream and do Jeopardy. And because he was the celebrity champion at one point, too. So, much as we hate Aaron Rodgers, he's a smart guy.
You got to work on the personality.
Yeah, well, you can't have it all, right? Like, I got a great personality, but I can't play quarterback for the Packers. So,
That's what you think.
Let's do this. We got Joey's news coming up next. But before we get to that, I want to remind you about Grow Green. GrowGreenMI.com is where you need to visit for all your growing needs. They have everything that you need out at Whitmore Lake. And when you stop by their store, make sure you let them know that Woodward Sports sent you, and they'll hook you up with a T-shirt, maybe a Frisbee. They got all types of fun stuff to give to Woodward Sports listeners. So make sure when you go out there, you let it be known you're from Woodward Sports, and Grow Green will hook it up. We got Joey's news coming up next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Good morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's news.
Let's go.
Man, I love upsets so much, especially when you see the undefeated Gonzaga going down. And I put some money on this game, so that's why I'm a little bit extra happy about it. Baylor with the upset over Gonzaga to win their first national championship, finishing the amazing season 31-1. Final score 86-70. And just the big takeaway to this game is defense wins championships. Baylor just out-rebounded Gonzaga the entire game. And there you see Baylor rushing the field as they watched outside at McLean Stadium. And it's wide open there in Texas.
Yeah, it's wild, man, seeing all those kids partying, and good for them. Like, I'm glad they get to celebrate this, especially if Texas is doing well. Then, well, you know, eventually we got to get back to normal, so rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go.
Right. If you're back to full capacity and no regulations or whatsoever or anything, that's obviously all legal, so that's okay.
Yeah, good for you.
Right.
We're not there yet here in Michigan, but
soon enough. In about 2 years, we'll be there. We go to the Jets trading Sam Darnold. This took over yesterday. All the news. They traded Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers for a 2021 6th-round pick and a 2nd and 4th-round pick in next year's draft in 2022. And he is reuniting with Robbie Anderson. When they were both together in the Jets, this was actually Sam Darnold's rookie season. He threw 88 completions to him, over 1,300 yards, and 11 touchdowns. So this is going to be a duo right there and a connection that's going to be something there for New York. I mean, for
the Panthers.
The Panthers.
The Panthers.
Carolina Panthers. We go to the Angels. This is the biggest troll thing of the day yesterday, and I loved it. Angels fans throwing an inflatable trash can on the field in the middle of the game against the Astros.
Love it.
Good for them.
It
Trash
looks like
organization.
a Simpsons trash can right there.
It does.
That's awesome, though. Like, you know, that person snuck that in, blew it up in their seat, and then threw that shit out there.
Dude,
like,
that's a lot right there to blow up, too. That was pretty big.
Right.
So that's impressive right there. And then we go to the Pistons, who got their ass beat by 44 points the other night against the Knicks. and then ended up beating the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't know why you guys are laughing. I missed something good, but OKC, they beat them by 24 points, and Killian Hayes had a great game. What the hell is funny?
No, Killian had a great game last night.
You guys both are red. What's funny? Look at your red faces, both of you.
Fantastic.
First of all, it's hot. Now I'm dying laughing because a girl just walked by behind you while you were doing it. Me and Adam both watched her walk by. That we both looked at each other, not realizing we were on the 3 cam. That we both gave each other the nod. Like, you saw it, I saw it, and you kept going. I thought you were on solo cam, but it was 3 cam, and me and Adam just gave the "that'll do, pig," "that'll do" nod to each other.
That's funny.
We got to go back and replay that. Fish, make sure you timestamp this so we know when to pull that.
I already
right?
did. 9:31.
9:30. So that's Joey's news.
Well, there's my news, and a quick shout out to Northwestern Tech, because hopefully you go there and you're not dumbasses like Stick and Adam sitting up here. Y'all got busted on camera. What do you mean? Acting all surprised. Y'all got busted on camera.
You got to bring up Martha right now?
Northwestern. Hey, I went out with Martha with my girl yesterday too. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Gosh.
Northwestern Tech.
Edu. It's only a 10.5-month hands-on HVAC program. Not that kind of hands-on when you look at the girl walking by. This program right here is something that's going to mold you for your entire career to just be onto that new trade that you learned, because this is something that is going to be industry-proof for the entire life. Even in the pandemic, you don't got to worry about anything. So northwesterntech.edu. Check them out. It's great.
So you mentioned it in your news, Sam Darnold moving on. He's going from the Jets to Carolina, and a lot of the talk was Carolina being right behind the Lions and us using that as leverage, knowing that they needed a quarterback to get some extra value out of them. Well, obviously that ain't happening anymore, but does this affect the Lions at all? Because the two teams that I really thought we would trade with, San Francisco and, of course, Carolina, have now traded up ahead of us to get their quarterbacks. The only team left, in my opinion, that we can actually trade down with and get value is Washington. Adam, how you feeling about that Sam Darnold trade and how it affects the Lions?
To briefly touch on the Darnold trade, I think it's a great trade. I think the Panthers are huge winners in it, and I also think the Jets win in that trade. They get rid of a quarterback who's nearing the end of his rookie deal. They weren't going to sign him to an extension. They got a cap hit of $5 million in dead money. No biggie. It's not going to kill the Jets. But more importantly, they get a second-round pick. They get a 6th. They get a 4th. They got some draft capital out of it. They move on. They're probably taking Wilson at 2. But how it affects the Lions aren't trading back. That's out of the question. They're taking Jamar Chase. I think that's a lock at this point. And then that's really it. The Lions in no way are going to trade back. There's no reason to. There's no team to trade back to. And even if they were willing to trade to Washington, that would have to garner 3 or 4 future first-round picks. And even then, you're thinking, is it really worth it? Because I just brought in Jared Goff. And as the GM and just as an organization as a whole, I'm going to look like an ass clown because I brought in Jared Goff and I gave him nothing. So Lions have to take a receiver. They're not trading back. They're not trading up. It's not going to happen. They're taking a receiver at 7. So that just locks in, I think, what we all thought. It just confirms it 100%.
I mean, you look at that pick right there, having number 7, and obviously the only value we could have offered to Carolina was obviously a quarterback. And then we only go back 1 pick. So it's like they take the quarterback that we didn't even need, so it doesn't affect us at all because we were just trying to trick them into thinking we were going to get a quarterback. And now it's like we can't go back that much because we still do need a Jamar Chase, a Micah Parsons, a Penei Sewell, one of the 3 big players that can really help us out. Because if we go back that far, future draft picks aren't going to mean anything to me. I want something right now. One of these stars that we can rely on right now to help support Jared Goff and at least give him something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it really affects the draft too much. I still like that trade that was proposed by the Atlantic with Washington. I mean, if we could trade down with Washington, but really they wanted a quarterback, and now it's 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be quarterbacks essentially.
Where's Washington picking? 16?
Yeah, something like that. No, 16 I believe is New England. So Washington's in that area. They made the playoffs. So
they're about 18 or 19. It's not worth trading back that far. You're not going to get any of the receivers at 19.
Yeah, and then any of the receivers, but we're also going to get another first round next year as well.
But you again, then you're probably going to go 0-17.
Right, but we have 3 first round picks next year.
I understand.
So Washington's at 19.
Huh?
19, Washington.
Yeah,
you're
19,
not trying to establish a winning culture by going out there and pulling a Rod Marinelli. You can't let Jared Goff go out there. You got to go out there and give him a fair chance, and that's what I believe the Detroit Lions are going to do. They're going to give him assets. They're going to draft Jamar Chase at 7. They'll probably take another wide receiver in the 3rd or 4th round, and they're going to try to build around Jared Goff. And if Jared Goff can prove that he's the franchise quarterback, great. If he can't, it should not be how it was with Sam Darnold. Oh, he didn't have weapons. We don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Are you guys done with Sam Darnold? Do you think that ship has sailed, or do you think he's going to have a better opportunity in Carolina? I mean, he has already got a better running back than he's ever had with Christian McCaffrey. Not exactly sure what type of offense they're going to be running down there. They don't have a tight end. They don't really have high-end wide receivers. Robbie Anderson.
DJ Moore, I mean.
Yeah, DJ Moore. I guess DJ Moore, damn good.
Okay, so on the Darnold aspect, I think the Panthers stole him. They absolutely stole a potential franchise quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is not a franchise quarterback. So you know his ceiling, you know his limitations, you know his good, and you know his bad. It's that simple. We know what Teddy Bridgewater is. He's not going to get any better than that. That's just the honest to God truth. The Panthers now have an opportunity to win the division next year.
How bad do you feel if you're Teddy Bridgewater, man? That dude just cannot catch a break.
He's getting paid, though. So
I get he's getting paid, but I'm assuming he wants to play football at some point, too, though.
Well, he can go to the Vikings then.
But he's bounced all over already.
That's what happens when you're not a franchise quarterback. You don't get to stay around for too long. But I think Matt Rule can really get the best out of Sam Darnold. You're looking at the support Darnold is walking into. He's got Christian McCaffrey, David Moore, Robbie Anderson, and potentially Pitts. Devontae Smith or Waddle if Pitts falls to 9. Not that he will.
No way.
No, I'm sorry.
No way.
8. If he does.
No way.
If he does.
No
Anyways.
way.
Anyways.
No way.
Anyways.
No
at
way.
number 8, if they don't get Pitts, which is super unlikely, they could either get Penei Sewell if he drops, or you're looking at Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle.
Dude,
they're going to load up.
If they get Pitts, if they get Sewell, there's so many that it's like, damn, this would be fun.
Great players. This happens every year.
But
Great
I do
players
want
in
to
the
point
draft
to
will
Sam
fall.
Darnold has been playing under that Adam Gase offense. And, if you look back at it, we got some graphics or actually some tweets. The Adam Gase offense is brutal because you think back to the Ryan Tannehill days. Ryan Tannehill, his pro football fantasy grade was a 59.7 when he played under Adam Gase. Sam Darnold a 58.8. Without Gase, look what happened to Tannehill from 2019 to 2020. 92.4, fourth best in the league. So are we going to see that change out of Darnold?
I expect it,
you think so?
100%. I mean, you look at Adam Gase, he was a horrendous head coach.
Yeah, check
he had
this
an
out,
even
too.
worse GM. You can't talk Darnold without Gase. In 5 years as head coach, only 2 were with Sam. His teams were outscored by 544 points. His teams trailed after the first quarter by a total of 210 points. 35 of his 48 losses were by double digits. 27 of his 32 wins were by 1 score. Wow.
So, yeah, Adam Gase, and then we got one more that we could throw up, too. And, it just goes to show more that, hey, maybe Darnold wasn't the problem. And this is
it was never him.
And I like these kind of fun facts. We'll get into Fish's facts coming up here in about 10 minutes. But the Jets and the Panthers trade basically ensures for the 3rd time in draft history, quarterbacks will go 1, 2, 3. The other time, 1971 with Jim Plunkett, Daddy Manning, and of course Dan Pastorini. I don't remember him. And then in 1999, Tim Couch was drafted above Donovan McNabb, who was drafted above Akili Smith. So if that doesn't prove to you that having the number 1, number 2, or number 3 overall pick isn't everything, I don't know what else will, because Tim Couch, number 1 overall, Akil Smith, those guys did nothing.
Great franchises prove that. The poor franchises are the exact opposite. So now you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are so fortunate to be in the position they're in. They have the 1st overall pick. They're going to get a surefire franchise quarterback. Now it's on them to build around it. You don't want to have a similar Sam Darnold situation, but it's Urban Meyer. I think Urban Meyer will figure it out down there. But in regards to Matt Rule and Sam Darnold, watch out. The Carolina Panthers are going to be a good football team this year, and they'll be division contenders the following year. Instantly.
I'm mad I traded Sam Darnold in my Dynasty League last year. Because now
he
that
could put up some numbers
Now
this
that
year.
kid's got him for 3 more years.
Think about Sam Darnold in this light. I think we give a lot of shit for Adam Gase, and obviously no weapons. Jameson Crowder, Inua.
Denzel Mims.
You know, like seriously, he had no help.
Le'Veon Bell for a hot second.
And you put him in this situation now. Even go back to his time with the Jets, 45 touchdown passes and 39 interceptions in 38 starts. Now I know that's an interception a game basically, but I mean, what does he have to work with? He's basically throwing to nobody. He's basically throwing to me and Joey. Is what's going on here. Me and Joey are the wide receivers.
Okay, you talk for yourself. He'd be lucky to be throwing to me.
I mean, beyond the point, Sam Darnold proved it in his second year. He was 7-6 as a starter. He had 19 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. He was playing good football.
Then he got
mono.
Hurt. It was mono. He didn't get hurt. He got mono. Then he was out for like 6 weeks.
Well, he took a shot, and then he got mono, and then he couldn't come back because if he got hit, it could have killed him basically. But
something like that. And he was just weak with mono.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Sam Darnold, moving on. It kind of affects the Lions. Not really. It just kind of limits who behind us can trade up. Obviously, so the teams left that could trade up with us, besides Washington, I think you got Denver in there and
you know who should trade up?
Maybe New England.
You know who should trade up? Dallas. They should draft a quarterback.
Dallas should draft
they ain't doing that.
No, they just re-signed Dak for ungodly amount of money.
I know. They're gonna get it in the ass for that one.
And Dak's already like being projected as the number 4 or 5 fantasy football quarterback.
Fantasy football doesn't win championships. So.
Oh, it wins me championships.
It wins you championships.
It's the only championship I'm competing for. So that's all I give a shit about.
Dak Prescott was 13-3 with one of the best rosters, if not the best roster in the NFL, and since then has been nothing.
Yeah. Well,
and it doesn't help that he has a horrible coach.
So we'll find out what happens with Sam Darnold, see how that plays out with Carolina, see where they go in the draft, and we'll keep an eye on it. Lions are on the clock, number 7 right now, and the draft is in, 23 days, boys. 23 days from the NFL draft. I absolutely love it. So excited about this. And another thing I'm excited for, tonight, I get the pleasure of working for the MHSAA.
Hey.
What you doing tonight?
The Michigan High School Athletic Association.
Calling another game?
They needed a janitor? What
no, I'm cleaning up after the game.
Oh, man. I'm proud of you, dude.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Know your role. No, for real. I've been spot calling games here and there for the prep. It's my buddy Chad Bush. He does high school basketball games and football games. I did 1 football game, and I've done like 3 basketball games. But now that we're past regionals, or is tonight the regional? Is that what tonight is, Alex? Or what's tonight?
Semis, isn't it?
Tonight's the semifinals?
Regionals was last week.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the 2 teams won regionals. Grand Blanc is taking on my old school Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and I will be on the color commentary for the game. And Alex, our producer here, is actually going to be the producer out there at the game too, right?
Yeah, should be a good game.
That's how I met Alex.
So this is that dynamic duo out there for the MHSAA.
And it's through the MHSAA, right, at this time?
Like we're streaming it on our own, and then MHSAA is taking our feed, so you can watch it on their website.
Yeah, and that's pretty awesome. So eventually we want to evolve this into where they're Woodward Sports high school games, and we're streaming them on our website. But, just trying to get in with the MHSAA, because we got some cool things planned for the high school kids coming up in the fall, too.
Oh, yes.
They got the All-Star crew going tonight.
Yeah. So it's going to be... It's going to be fun, man. I really enjoy doing color commentary on sporting events.
And that's the thing. I mean, you look at, that's where it all starts. When you go to the high school kids, honestly, even a little bit back to the Little League kids, that's really what we're all about here, is just really being out there in the city, going to every single – where's the game at tonight, you said?
It's at Davison.
So we're going all across the state.
I got to drive an hour to Davison to go
so
call
you're leaving early.
Yeah, trying to. They wanted me to leave at 2, and I was like, 2? There's no way in hell I can get – the game's at 7, right? But there's no way in hell I'm leaving.
Oh, you got to get out of here at 3:30.
That's when they got to go. The crew's going. Yeah.
What's that?
That's when the crew's going.
Yeah, the whole crew's going at 2 because they got to set up cameras, and that's another nice part about this. I'm the talent. I just show up, put on headphones, baby, and we go to work. But yeah, they actually do a really good job. They got this motion camera that follows the action without anybody manning the camera.
Wow.
Yeah, so the coverage is actually really good, man.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
We'll be watching.
You guys will be watching?
Heck yeah, I'll watch.
I'll go if I can.
You want to come to Davison with me?
I'm down.
All right, it'll be fun.
I'll be
just trying to leave work at 2 o'clock.
I'm not leaving at 2 today. No, I told Chad, the best I could get out of here is 5 o'clock today. There's no way I could. Yeah. I mean, my days here, we get in at 6:30, 7 o'clock. Yesterday I didn't leave till
7:30.
7:30, right? So, we put in them hours here. So sneaking out early, just even if it's I put in a 10-hour day, it's like, man, I cut that day short. But tonight it's going to be fun. Orchard Lake St. Mary's taking on Grand Blanc, and they played earlier this season. I was actually able to call that game. And Jason Richardson, the former Spartan, his nephew, I believe it is, plays for Grand Blanc. Isn't that right? That's his nephew, number 23 for Grand Blanc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got 23 on too?
Yeah. And the kid is a baller, dude. Absolute baller. Well, the first time we saw them play, God damn it, I know what you're laughing at. And the same girl just walked by and distracted us again. Either way, but the first time they played, it was amazing. It was a good game. I believe St. Mary's was only up by 3 going into halftime. Then they kind of busted it open in the second half. Grand Blanc, really good team. To me, pretty much whoever wins this matchup is the guy that's going to win the title.
Hell yeah.
So I'll be doing that call tonight. Joey, we got to do a Brother Rice St. Mary's game next year.
That'd be fun. That'd be so fun. Let's
Adam,
do that.
Do you want to do a Dearborn game where you played? Would you ever, does that matter to you to
Fort
go back?
St. versus Crestwood, baby.
I never got the full high school experience where I have like an allegiance to my high
Dude, you
school.
did the unheard of too out in Dearborn. You went from
Fortson to Crestwood.
Crestwood,
2 years at Fortson, 2 years at Crestwood.
Like that
Total
is
opposites.
unheard of.
Yeah, I was actually supposed to go to Dearborn High, but I ended up choosing Crestwood because they had a better baseball team.
Got you. Huh. And
I barely made the baseball team.
And also, Adam and I's softball team starts in about a month too.
That's right.
Yeah, can't wait for that, man. Get some activity again.
Is it like a co-ed league or what is it?
No, it's a competitive all-male league.
So it's competitive.
Yeah, like the dudes pitching wear masks and stuff. My boy Matt Broder, who's always in the comments, he's on the team. He used to play at Michigan. Dude's a baller. Like there's some good players. I'm probably they bat me like 7th, 8th.
Shit, so I'm batting 9th.
Yeah, it's like I'm not even close to the best player on our team. We got some good players. But it's going to be fun. Can't wait for softball season to start. Hopefully the rain holds off. And I'm doing that tonight. Lots of stuff going on. I love this time of year around Michigan because it's almost like your rebirth. You're starting to get out. You're starting to do things. Summer's here. Sun is out. It's supposed to be like 80 degrees today. In a good mood right now, definitely. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, it is time for Fish and his facts. You want to do Fish's facts? Let's hit Fish with the... Fish, we got to do your official intro, okay, buddy?
Is it time? Yeah, it is. Fish!
Go Fish. Fish facts.
It's Fish!
Every day about this time, Fish comes on with some random facts. Fish, what do you got today?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Monday was yesterday. We start off with the Tigers yesterday who got killed. But Akil Baddoo did not get killed. He killed the baseball. He got a grand slam yesterday, and he's the 31st player to homer on a first pitch in the MLB. So very good for him. He's looking really good. I hope he could surpass Miguel Cabrera maybe.
What a start to this kid's career.
I mean, that's pretty big shoes to fill, right, Fish?
It is big shoes to fill, but I mean, he's got a grand slam yesterday, got a home run on Sunday, so he's looking really good.
I like
First
it.
at bat. Baylor, they won yesterday.
Hey!
That's their first ever national championship win in their history, so congratulations to them. Not so good for Gonzaga. They lost yesterday, and they are the second team to go undefeated into the March Madness final and lose. Last team to do that was Indiana State, who lost to Michigan State.
That's right.
The other teams, UNLV made it to the Final Four and lost, and then Kentucky Final Four and lost. So a lot of teams go undefeated, but little come out and survive.
That is crazy that it doesn't happen often. And, the teams that get there tend to lose in the big moment. That's really a strange phenomenon.
Yeah, it is very strange, but it happens, and that's how basketball works. It's fun, though.
And that's how life works, Fish.
That is how life works. To the NBA, different basketball league. The Mavericks, they're looking pretty good right now. They are without their second best player, and they have won 5 straight. They're now 28-21, and they're 2 games back of the 6th seed.
I'm telling you, the way the West is going to shake out is going to be really strange coming up to the end of the season, especially with the Lakers doing what the Lakers are doing right now. I don't know where those seeds are going to wind up.
The Mavericks can get something in the West. It's going to be exciting in the playoffs.
It is.
And you got that battle for the 8th seed, too, that playoff that they do. Very exciting. Kyrie Irving, he looked good. He got 40 points, 7 assists. The Nets have been making records, man. I mean, it's like the 58th time I've been reading most in franchise history for the Nets. So were the Nets not very good?
For 40-point games?
Well, I don't know, for anything. It's the 7th 40-point game with the Nets, the 3rd most in franchise history.
Yeah,
I mean how bad did the franchise have to be for me to be reading, like, 85 stats of most in franchise history, most in franchise history, most in franchise history?
Well, honestly, this is the best team Brooklyn's ever had, or the Nets in general, even when they were in New Jersey. Granted, they had Jason Kidd, who was at Kerry Kittle, and Kenyon Martin back in the day. Like,
but
that
they were
was
never
their big three.
Crazy scorers.
Yeah, they're nothing compared to Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's true. It is Masters Week, and April 6th, I forgot. April 6th, Tuesday, 1958, Masters Week. Arnold Palmer, he won. This is first of 4 Masters that he would win. He won by 1 stroke ahead of Doug Ford. So, first of 7 major titles. So, very excited about the Masters. And Arnold Palmer, love that guy.
Yeah, love his iced tea and tea mixture. It's my favorite.
Yeah. Dude, that's legendary.
It is.
What's the backstory to that? That was just his drink that he always...
That's just what he did at the country club. Yeah.
All right.
Today, 1973, it's also today, is Roberto Clemente Day.
Oh, nice.
That's also the day that Pirates retired his number. So happy Roberto Clemente Day. I'm assuming Maz is going to have stuff on that on the hook today. So we will look forward to that. And
I actually went to the Dominican Baseball Hall of Fame in the Dominican Republic. It's just like statues and a little walk, and it was really, really neat. They love baseball in the Dominican, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do love baseball there. Them in Mexico and Japan. Japan loves baseball. They also love sumo wrestling. Lightning, they beat the Boston Bruins in 2019. For their 62nd regular season win, tying the Detroit Red Wings with 128 points, 4th in NHL history.
Beautiful.
So, Lightning, they're looking good this year. Red Wings, not so much. But we'll get there. We will get there. Today is a birthday. You guys, it's an NFL guy. You guys know who it is?
O.J. Simpson.
No.
Michael Vick.
It's an NFL guy. I think he's on ESPN, or he used to be on ESPN.
Ray Lewis?
No.
Booger McFarland.
He's white. Does that help you?
Ray Lewis.
Bob Greasy.
Tim Hasselback.
Oh, okay.
It is his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Tim Hasselback.
1978, and then we have a deaf.
Look at that, 1978, Tim Hasselbeck, American football player.
American football
Thank
player.
you, Fish.
Thanks, Fish. Hard-hitting facts.
We have a deaf anniversary today, 2020. He's one of ours, Al Kaline.
Yep.
So he did a lot for the Tigers. 18-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove, World Series. He did a lot for our teams.
Yeah, and he was always around Comerica Park, and just a great, great, great ambassador for the Tigers, and just a great overall human. And we were so lucky to have him here as a part of our franchise. So thank you for reporting on that, Fish.
You're very welcome. I was looking down chart, and I'm like, oh, Al Kaline. So pin him.
What do you search for that? You just search people who died today?
No, there's a website I use that has events. Starts off with events, has a boatload of them, then goes down to deaths, birthdays,
and then
sometimes weddings. It had a wedding. It was some baseball guy. I didn't know him, so I didn't pick him.
All right.
But it was some guy's wedding. Earl Banks, some baseball player. Didn't know him, so I didn't pick him.
Carlton Banks?
Carlton Banks? Yeah. Well, thank you, Fish. Fish is on every morning at 9:50 with Fish's Facts. It is now time for Joey's Dumbass of the Day.
To present the award.
It is Joey.
It is time. Dumbass.
To the day.
Why would you do that? And the loser is...
Who you got today, Joey?
I mean, it's no surprise. We have to follow up to yesterday's Dumbass of the Day. And for the first time ever, a back-to-back Dumbass of the Day award goes to Paul Pierce. Because this guy is officially parted ways with ESPN. But the best parts of this story is we talked about Cam Soda a couple weeks ago. Because Cam Soda was the site that was offering live entertainment for all of the NCAA players when they were trapped in their bubble in Indianapolis. Well, Cam Soda's come out to offer Paul Pierce $250,000 to host an NBA show with exotic dancers.
I don't see how he can be the dumbass of the day. I think he's the G of the day, and I think the dumbass of the day is Disney and ESPN.
I agree. I don't know why you're calling Paul Pierce a dumbass.
Paul Pierce is an OG.
He's an OG, but he's a dumbass for doing it live on Instagram. Like, come on.
It wasn't illegal.
I hated Paul Pierce until this weekend.
I know.
And now I love Paul Pierce.
Yep.
And I want him to come work for Woodward Sports. Paul Pierce, we will give you $250,000 and unlimited strippers, but you need to do multiple shows for us.
Where are we getting that money from?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Fish.
Cam Soda.
Go rob a bank.
Soda Cam. Whatever it's called.
I do not want to rob a bank.
I do not want to rob a bank. Thank you, Fish. So that was your dumbass of the day?
That is dumbass
Paul
of the
Pierce?
day.
All right, at least it wasn't some idiot being racist.
There's no one today.
Woo,
Surprisingly.
we did it, America! Congratulations!
There's still a couple more that have been working on trying to clean their act up for 8 months, though.
Right. The Papa John's guy still
Yes.
working on clearing that word out of his vocabulary. Thank you guys for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show this morning. Baligian and Bell is up next. Our very own Corey Woods is going to be playing the part of Sean Baligian. Joik Bell will be playing the part of Joik Bell. And then from 3 to 5, you got Maz, you got Pilar, and then, of course, Darren McCarty on the hook. So make sure you're watching and listening all day long, no matter what you're watching on any social media, or download our app. And if you missed the show live, you can always go back and listen to it on podcast or any video platform that we stream to. Thank you guys so much for waking up. It's the Woodward Sports Network, live on Woodward.
Give it up for Adam.
For Adam.
You got an email, by the way, Stick. I think that might have been Cam Soda.
Battery low.